Hello. If we're live, God knows. Everyone all right? By everyone, I mean 6 people. Oh, that's more than I thought immediately. Oh, that's coming through my speakers, so let's turn that down. And I'm going to assume I'm live. Can someone give me a yes in the chat if they can hear me, so I haven't got to mess around with my microphone anymore? Please and thank you. I'll wait for that to come in before I say anything more, because otherwise... Oh, Kevin, thank you. Always coming in clutch. I'm relatively rushed because... Well, I won't go into the reasons why, but long story short, that means my lighting is kind of rubbish, haven't cleaned up at all, yeah, but we're going to try our best because that's what we like to do. So if I'm out here and like that is casting an annoying shadow, I'm afraid we're just going to have to deal with it today because I do not have the mental capacity before this stream to sort my life out. But I digress. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is good. Saad says, bro, really appreciate that you do these streams. They're of huge value. Saad, thank you very much. I'm glad that you find them useful. For anyone who's here who doesn't know what this is a Whetstone Wednesday stream. It is where we review the copy of our Patreon members and try and give useful advice where possible. So we're going to crack into that. And I will explain it now because I know it's going to come up. We also have, as we always do, a competition. I don't know if a competition is the right word, but opportunity, I suppose, where if you write copy for any of our masterclasses, which you can find at copythatshow.com under the digital products section, then if we like the copy, we will buy the copy from you for, I believe, $150, which definitely $150. So you can earn a bit of money, you can become a published copywriter, and you can practice copywriting while having experts review it. So hopefully it's a win-win-win-win-win, since we also get some hopefully good copy for our products. So I can already see that there are a couple that we're going to be reviewing today. Let's read some questions first. I'll dip in and out of the chat and I'll answer some questions where I possibly can. It's probably not going to be a massively long one today. We have 8 bits of copy to get through, one of which I think is quite long. As always, I'll be trying to give brief, concise points so as not to repeat myself too much. But I'll try and answer some questions along the way as well. Shah says, any new masterclasses coming up? Well, I don't think there are any that we've recorded that we haven't published. I have got some time earmarked over Christmas to do one, and then coming into 2024 or going into 2024, we're going to be releasing a few big masterclasses, which are going to be like hours long. So a lot of our time and effort is going to go into those. But there will be some new masterclasses coming relatively soon. Amir asks, how am I? King Alex. I would not call myself a king, but I'm well, Amir. Thank you very much. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Right, so I will share my screen because now I have 2 screens. I'm learning to like use them properly. I'm not going to bother atting anyone that I'm live because if you want to see this, you can check YouTube later. Entire screen. Ooh, entire screen 1, and that will share that. Is that all right? Yes, that is right. I'm already zoomed in to all the ones I can be zoomed into as far as I can go. And I will try and zoom in to more when we get to them. Wait, was I supposed to resend my copy if it wasn't reviewed in the past Whetstone Wednesday edition? Kevin, I'm afraid, yes, that is the rule. I will occasionally... If it was my Whetstone Wednesday and I didn't get through to all of them, I will occasionally like go back and get mine, the ones I didn't review, but it's kind of whoever's doing it has their own rules. We tend to just do, once we've atted whatever's posted, we do. Although if you put yours in the exclusive critiques right now, I'll go and open it up and I'll see if I can get to it. In fact, before I share my screen, let me move that over here. Yeah, if you put it in there now, I will do my best to get around to it. Okay, cool. And Amir has been doing some email copy. Oh, no, sorry, I see what you mean. You're asking a question. Some email copies, just remember it's copy. It's never copies. It's only ever copy. Copy is already plural, so it's either it's either pieces of copy or it's copy. So, for example, hey, I just wrote some copy, or it's I just wrote a few pieces of copy. Just to clarify that. So some email copy have another CTA in the middle of them. How to know if we should do it in our copy? Completely depends on what the email's trying to do and what it the purpose of it, the list it's going to. Usually emails should only have one CTA because usually emails are being sent with one clear purpose, but emails may be sent, for example, as newsletters, which may be just updating people on the progress of a company or something, in which case you might direct people to different places. Some other emails, Black Friday emails especially tend to do this. They'll have lists of offers in them, so you can like click and get sent to other offers. Don't know what happened to my screen. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Totally depends on the email. And hey, Julius Caesar, my boy. This may be silly, but is it normal? Is it normal I'm feeling a bit bored because I haven't got into action already? Maybe. It depends what you mean. Do you feel bored by reviewing copy, by practicing copy, learning copy, writing copy? Are you bored because you're comparing it to like what you think you're going to be doing and you're raring to get going with clients? Maybe it's totally normal for some people to like want to get going but not know how to. I'd say if you're bored by copy and you're bored by writing copy and you're bored by researching copy, copywriting may not be the right career path for you. If it bores you, I wouldn't do something I found boring. But maybe just have a go at trying to land some clients if you feel like you just can't wait to get going. Basola says, I like a copy that hoodie. Thank you, Basola. I don't know what you're wearing, but I like what you're wearing too. Is that a copy that jumper seat? Yes, it is. Have we never worn these on stream before? Maybe not. Can I get it? You can get it. Oh, let me reshare my screen. I forgot I wasn't. If you go to copythatshow.com and you go to merch, we sell a few things because we're a business and we probably should try and sell some stuff. I am wearing the Copy That unisex hoodie. I believe this is a medium that I'm wearing. Look, 65% ring spun cotton. Ooh. So yeah, you can. Long story short, yeah, you can go and buy them. But don't feel like you have to. We just kind of did it because we were interested in a bit of a merch side. I actually have no idea how much merch has been sold. I can't imagine loads because we don't advertise it. But hey, there you go. Okay, cool. Let's get back into let's actually do the reviewing of the copy. So product description. I can already see first of all that this first piece of copy is a masterclass, a description for masterclass. So hang on, let me just go back to Amir's question because he's asked one more thing. No, I mean that they repeat the last CTA in the middle and they say it's for hyperactive readers. Repeating the same CTA throughout is very, very common. How you know whether you should do it or not, the rule that I always use is if it makes sense to put a CTA there, then put a CTA there. That sounds like quite a broad thing to say, but what I mean is like, I wouldn't put a CTA in the middle of a story, for example, because like you haven't even concluded what you're trying to talk about. I would put a CTA next to, a primary benefit of buying a product that may just convince one person. Like one person may be looking at hunting rifle scope, and they may be like, oh yeah, the thing I was looking at is an easy to adjust ring. Like that was my main thing. And put a CTA after that, be like, oh, you can buy it here right now. If it makes sense, if the thing they would have just read would then make them more likely to buy something, the thing, then put a CTA there. Luke Lionheart, cool name. Hey there, Alex, how you doing? I'm doing well, thank you very much. I'll do one of these streams at some point where I just sit and I ramble, and you guys can ask me questions. I haven't done one of those in a while. I've mainly just been doing copy reviews. Speaking of which, let's crack on. So for quick context, these are the masterclasses that we have on our website. As you will see if you click into them, they have very basic descriptions at the top because we don't have a lot of time. So we just kind of type out a sentence and publish it, and that's it. We are saying if you can rewrite like this description and like write copy for the rest of this page, we will pay you for it. That's basically what we're doing. And this first one is done for finding the constellations, which one is it? I should know these by now. Studying copy. This is Rod's, right? Yeah, I remember. So this is a masterclass on how to study copy effectively, and someone has written a page for it. So let's review that page. And they've given us some context at the beginning to hey, they even addressed me. How did they know I'd be reviewing it? Spooky. Okay, context. If you're ever gonna if you're a patron, you subscribe to our Patreon, and you want to submit some copies to be reviewed, please give this kind of context at the top. It really helps give us a frame in which to review the copy because we know who it's aimed at. For these, obviously, these are our masterclasses, so like we kind of get it, but it's still nice to know like what your goal is, what your idea is, and you know who you think you're trying to appeal to. So traffic most likely comes from YouTube channels, not Patreon subscribers. Yep, okay. Most likely people who are new to the channel, not new to copywriting. Oh, fine. Goal for people to buy this masterclass, the reader is beginner copywriters who want to write great copy and have already been told that reading copy is a good thing to do, but they don't really believe that claim. Okay. The idea that proving that if you want to learn how to write great, then you must learn how to read great copy. Then convincing this masterclass will show them how to do it. Action, click on the button directing them to purchase to the purchase page. So what this person is saying is they are saying that the person they're writing for is someone who has been told that they should read copy, but they like to write good copy, but they believe that they might not need to do that yet. They don't really believe that claim. Now that's fine, like because you've told me who it is you're targeting, so I will review it with that in mind. The only thing I would say is that because I remember reviewing this, and I remember there was some incongruence between your target audience and the rest of the copy. I do kind of feel like I still feel like this would be better targeted at people who already accept that reading and studying great copy is the way to get good, and this is just a solution for how to do that. I still think that would be a better audience to target at, but nonetheless, I'll review it with your audience in mind. Okay, before I crack into this, I see this. I'm terrible for getting distracted with questions. Hey, glad I caught a stream. Joseph, glad you could be here. Creatives, what's up? Not much. What's up with you? Don't mind. I'm gonna mind this last comment. Just to clarify, I like to write stuff, but I feel ready to offer my services. I'm just taking perhaps too long on doing spec pieces. Anyway, dude, just stop. Go pitch now. Like, watch some of our pitching videos, like the free ones on YouTube. If you're on Patreon, go and watch the pitching masterclasses I've done. And just start. Like, nothing wrong with that. If you feel ready, like if you feel like you have you like to write and you're like, okay, even if you don't feel ready, scratch the last bit. Even if you don't feel ready, just try. Like if you've written spec pieces and you feel like you can do it, list up some clients or some prospects that you want to work with. Maybe do a couple of spec pieces for in that kind of area, or for them. Do some website audits or some email audits or something like that. Record yourself doing a video, or write up an email to them, or write a LinkedIn message, or write a Facebook message, or go in and speak to them and just show them like, hey, I think we can improve your stuff by doing X. Like, I love what you're doing. Would love to try and help you make some more money. Would you be interested in working together or, talking? Go and watch the pitching videos because it explains it in much more depth than that. Hey, is there anyone I can contact? Is there any way I can contact anyone on the Copy That team? I have some questions above. Moving forward professionally, but quickly as a copywriter. I mean, I would ask them here right now. I am one of the Copy That team. I will do my best. And you can always email us. We aren't always fantastic with replying because we're busy. The best way is to message us in the Discord, which is the Copy That Discord server, which there must be a link for below this video. If not, go to one of our other videos and there will be a link in the description. Okay, I'm going to stop reading questions for now. Hey Alex, thank you for reviewing my copy before. Here are the changes I made based on all the criticism you gave earlier. I kept most parts intact, only fixed the incongruence between my target audience and the piece of copy. I achieved this by changing the ideal reader and punching up sections you mentioned needed improvement. The only thing it didn't change is the title, because I feel like it's more interesting and will draw readers in more, especially given they are scrolling through the product pages. Thanks for organizing this event for us. We love you and the team. We love you too. Also, design-wise, I added a little CTA nudge below each button to inform readers about what will happen next. Nice, I like those. P.S. I also submitted a product description for your landing page masterclass, and I couldn't help but notice that Cody has also shared her brilliance for the same masterclass. So, ooh, showdown. I was hoping to ask, if you have the chance to review her product description today, would you mind taking a peek at mine as well? It would be fantastic to have a fair chance to compete with each other. Thanks a bunch of time for your thanks for your time. I will try. I'm slightly rushed today. We're all rushed right now. We're all like wrapping up for the end of the year, so we're trying to do as much as we can, but I will do my best. All right, Still the Eyes of the Copywriting God. Masterclass on studying copy. The only and best way to know how to write great... Oh, crap. Why is that like that? Do I need to zoom out a little bit? Okay, hopefully that got... Is that still okay for you guys? Like that distance? I can edit. I'm cleverer than computers. There we go. That's better. The only and best way to know how to write great copy is to read great copy, especially if you're just starting out. Because, okay, first of all, I think framing it the way, you know, to your ideal client, I think that this is good overall, this opening, because you're immediately calling out the thing that they want to do, which is write great copy, which is what you said they want to do, and who they are, that they're just starting out. You've immediately like called that out straight away. So I know like this is for me, and I know it's gonna try and achieve the thing that I want. Now, the first way that I could see restructuring this, and this is what we would call a functional edit, is if just thinking about the person you're targeting, if I don't accept currently that reading is the best way to do it, do you think that you just repeating that is going to kind of convince me immediately? Like this, I know you say because, and you go on to talk about it, but I might just think like, oh, well, you're just going to tell me what everyone else already told me. So probably not worth my time. So that's something to consider there. The way that I would restructure this immediately is I would start with a call out. So I'd say, if you're just starting out, you may have heard that reading copy is the only way to learn it, right? Like that's the first thing I would say, because you've called out who I am and you are referencing the thing that I've been told, but you're not telling me that, oh, I'm wrong to think otherwise, right? You're just stating a fact, and it's something that I've already had. It's already relevant to me because other people have told me that same thing. So I go, yeah. Then try and sympathize with me. Don't immediately start with a, hey, you're wrong. Go like, you may, and like, you can go on and say something like, you know, you may think that's stupid, or like, you know, that doesn't make sense. Now, like, we know that doesn't make sense, but here is out, right? Even just by saying that, you have sympathized with me. You've shown me that you're on my side, that you understand what I'm thinking, that this is themed towards me, but you've not said to me like immediately like, hey, you're wrong. You haven't implied that I'm stupid for thinking what I think. As I say, I still don't think that this is the right target audience for this. I still think the right target audience is someone who, or the best target audience, I should say, is someone who already accepts that they know they want to learn how to read and analyze good copy. But if you are targeting that kind of person, I would just think about restructuring that so you're not immediately opposing yourself to their point of view. Bring your writing around to their way of thinking. Anyway, I don't see, like, that's just one line of copy, and that was already like 2 minutes. The only and best way to know how to write great copy is to read great copy, especially if you're just starting out. Because I want to reiterate, this isn't bad, because you do then give justification. So at least then I'm like, oh, well, you're going to tell me something to challenge my beliefs. Like, at least I'll see what your take on it is. Learning to write great copy without studying successful examples is like playing a sport without watching skilled athletes. It doesn't make sense. I feel like this analogy could be stronger. This doesn't leave me thinking like, oh God, yeah, like that's a light bulb moment. Like that makes sense. I would instead like immediately offer some kind of proof, because if my big hang up is like, I don't yet believe this, I would immediately offer something like, take, I don't know, Elise, for example. You know, she started out and she started earning money within 3 weeks. She owed it. She put it all down to the fact that she spent an hour a day just studying copy. But I wouldn't expect you to study like 1 hour a day, blah, 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 blah. I think that it would be more effective to immediately offer proof for the reasoning. If you just kind of use an analogy here, you're not really showing me anything new. You're not really making me think of it in a new way. Like, I understand this and I understand why you're comparing it, but it doesn't quite strike me as like, now I get it, if you see what I mean. However, anyone with a pair of functioning eyeballs can look at a piece of copy and understand its literal meaning. That's why the most prized and sought after copywriters know that it's beyond just literal meaning and more about figuring out how, why, and what makes successful copy work. Now, if I go back up to who this is for someone who wants to write good copy, right? Where's the read? Okay. Who want to write great copy. What I would do here is I would really stick to that idea, which is that you want to write great copy. I would call that out as well. So like you've done in the benefit up here, like how to write great copy, I would bring that back around when you're offering proof. So like I've just mentioned Elise, and I think I went on to say, she started making money. Probably wouldn't offer that up. I would probably, like thinking of the reader, I'd probably say, the reason that her copy now outpulls anyone else on her level, or like is picked over seniors who have twice her amount of experience, is because like at just starting out, she learned how to write great copy, and she put all of that down to reading copy. That I think is how you have to go about this. Like I say, don't think the target audience is quite right. I honestly think, like, because I seem to remember like this stuff down here being quite good, and like I was saying, punch these bits up. I would really love to see this again. And again, this is the brutal world of copywriting. You've got to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. I'd love to see this again, but with that target audience in mind. Someone who already knows that reading copy is the key, and you're writing to them. That's what I would love to see. Let me continue. Surprisingly, 90% of copywriters never bother learning this skill, and that's why most of them fail. Therefore, this masterclass will provide you with the ability to break down any piece of copy, the skill that has singularly accelerated the success of Rod's career, so you can use the same abilities to become a successful copywriter who can write outstanding copy. Now, I think there are good bits to pick out here. I think it still suffers slightly from throwing in quite a few different points, and they're not quite succinct enough together all in one go. So let me just take you through this for the benefit of both the person who wrote this and for the guy for everyone watching. Let me go line kind of section by section and break down like what each one is saying. This is effectively saying, hey, to get this benefit you want, read on, and you're a beginner. Like, I know you're a beginner, so read on if you want this benefit. That's what that's saying. Learning to write great copy without studying successful examples is like, okay. Then you're giving doing this thing you like is like this other thing that you already know. That's what that's saying. Then you're bringing in the point, but to just reading isn't enough. Like, you have to go one step further than reading. Then you go, the best copywriters know it's about being further than reading. Hey, did you also know that most copywriters fail because they don't learn this? Well, I'm going to tell you how to learn this with Rod, and then you can become a successful copywriter. There's quite a few competing ideas there. The big hang up for me is kind of this transition here between this and the rest of the section. I've already explained why I don't think this is the strongest analogy. You then go on to kind of talk about like, well, anyone can look at copy and understand its literal meaning. I don't feel like you have justified why I should believe this. Like, you have not given me enough proof to believe this one point. You've gone straight on to then kind of saying, hey, like, anyone who doesn't do this, like, you know, they suck. Like, you haven't actually showed me, well, why, how does this actually work? How does this help me? You've just offered an analogy. You've just offered that. Now, if you brought up Rod's success and about, you're like, hey, you know that guy who you've seen on the our YouTube channel, because you said that's where they've come from. The only reason he's where he is, and the only reason his copy has been mega successful, is because he learned to read copy. He puts all of it down to that, and he swears by it. Like, he's not some like rando on the internet telling you it's the blah, blah, blah. It's the person you've already been learning copy from, including Sean, including Alex, including Lindsey. All of them put their best copywriting success down to this fact. If you know they're coming from the YouTube channel already, which means they've already been learning from copy that to me seems like the strongest piece of evidence that you could give. That might then make me go like, okay, fine. If these guys also think that, I'm going to listen. Then if you can give some kind of like clarifying analogy, which is a bit stronger than that one, like even if you then gave this one after that, like that then makes a bit more sense. So then, okay, right, I'm kind of one round, fine. I now agree that I need this. But as I mentioned a few times, I still don't think this is the right target audience. I think it should be people who already accept that, you know, they want to do that. Now, I reviewed most of this last time. So let's just quickly skim through this. Successful Nike copywriter reveals his personal LSC approach, allowing you to decipher the secrets behind any successful copy on command. Most copywriters have all been told that reading copy is one of, if not the most beneficial things they can do at the beginning stage of career. However, many copywriters may believe that the fastest route to writing high converted copy involves devouring endless books and rolling in more courses than they can handle. Even worse, some rely on countless copy templates and formulas. Don't even get me started on that. But in reality, theory is just one tiny piece of the puzzle, relying solely on books and courses, like trying to become a chef just by reading a cookbook cover to cover without ever flipping on the stove. So here's what I think. I think what I would like to see is I would like to see this written with a different target audience, because I think that the ideas that you have would be far more naturally massaged into this page by having that as a focus, instead of trying to spend time on convincing someone that is the way to do it. Again, let's just analyze the difference here between this and this in terms of messaging. This headline, you are saying, hey, you can break down any piece of copy on command by learning this system. That's what that headline is saying. But then you start this body copy by convincing them again that they should want to do that. So this is telling me like, hey, this is how you do it. This is telling me, hey, you should want to do it. If you're telling me how to do it, you should already assume that I want to do it, because if I don't want to do it, why would I care about how to do it? Do you see what I mean here? Like, there's still that incongruence between what you're saying. And that's what you need to think is, why would anyone reading this headline also then need to be told this again? This objection that you're trying to kind of tackle here should be something they've already gone through further up the page or before they've got here, if that is the headline that you're doing. And that's the point I was making up here as well, is that you seem to move on quite quickly from that fact, then onto like, hey, like now you want to learn this because like it's good and Rod's great, without really offering any proof. Then you say, this is how you learn it. And then you go back to saying, oh, and you'll want to learn it too. It's just kind of swinging back and forth between those two positions. And I think you need to pick one of the positions that you're at, deal with it fully, and then move on to the next one. Or better yet, just assume that the person is already wants to learn copy, because how else would they have got to this page? Is another thing to think about. I'm just trying to judge this in isolation, but as we always say, copy lives in a universe, and we always need to know what they've seen before getting to this page. And the likelihood is, if they're reading a product page about how to break down copy, they've probably just been told, hey, if you want to break down copy, you should go and get this product. And then also, this is something else that beginners do. So everyone watching, I want you to pay really close attention to this. This is a kind of a line edit, I guess we would call it, but like a singular piece that I notice a lot of beginners doing. Even worse, some rely on countless copy templates and formulas. Don't even get me started on that. Now, this is a trope in writing, and I really don't like it for sales copy, because I understand the intent, and if you're writing like a newsletter or something for fun, or just having a bit of a conversation with someone, it's fine to put something like that. Like it's a bit jokey. It's you're kind of implying, oh god, there's a whole other thing that I could get onto at some point, because you're not, there's no skin in the game for the reader at that point. Like if they're just reading a newsletter, there's not really much skin in the game for them. They're just there to have fun and to be entertained and to read whatever it is that you're saying. However, for this, where this is sales copy and you're trying to convince me of something, all this does is make me think about something else I wasn't thinking of. Like, so now you're bringing up that, wait, should I not be relying on copy templates and formulas? Should I be worrying about that right now? Should I go and see another product to do that? Is because this seems like that this product is nothing to do with this. I noticed that quite a lot in beginner's copy, and I think it's because this cadence, this kind of sentence, is quite common in writing just regularly. And it's a bit of a cliche, and I think it's something that really needs to be killed in sales copy. In most cases, I can't think of a case where, if it was adding just comedic value on its own, might be fine. But the fact is, this is drawing my attention away from the thing you're talking about and implying that there's something else I need to know about. So I'm just distracted. So again, we've talked about the messaging incongruence between there and there. We've talked about potentially reframing who it is you're actually talking to. And again, also, there just seems to be just kind of dotting in and out of different topics, just throwing something in for the sake of it. What does this actually serve? What purpose does this line actually serve? I know it sounds brutal. I know I'm spending a long time on this, but it's because this is the kind of attention that you need to give your copy, and you need to be so ruthless with cutting stuff like this out, because it really doesn't add anything. And then you're moving into this idea of, hey, you're just stuck watching courses and reading books right now, which might be fine if you're writing to someone who's stuck in that, and like that's the idea, is that, hey, the only way to actually, aren't you sick of just continuing to watch courses, like you're not actually getting anywhere? The way to kill that is to start reading real copy, because your skill level will grow overnight and you'll be able to start making real money from it, for example. Like that's fine. That's a fine message on its own. Is that the message that you're trying to get across here? Is the person you're writing to, are they stuck in that kind of education wheel where they're just reading through courses? I don't know. You haven't said about that up here, and it's not something that you start by saying. So those are just a few things to note. And I know that it's easy for me to say, because obviously I've been doing this for a long time. I've been writing copy for a long time. I've been reviewing copy for a long time. But I want you guys, when you're reviewing your own copy, when you're writing your own copy, is to be this brutal with every single line. Like ask yourself, like, should this be here? Does this make sense here? Does it make sense to the reader? Does it distract from the point I'm trying to make? Does it completely kind of like upend the other thing that I was saying before? All these things really, really matter. And it feels like, and I know this is like the second or third time that you've submitted this, but it feels like you're kind of throwing things in and either not thinking about it, not thinking about why you're throwing it in, or just thinking, well, I'll throw that in to keep the rhythm going and to like make this kind of writing work. because believe me, that's exactly what I used to do. I used to just write loads of stuff, and then I would justify keeping something in just because I was like, oh yeah, but it sounds good. Yeah, it kind of helps connect those sections. It gives it a good rhythm or something like that. And maybe that's how you're justifying this. I want you to go, one, it'd be good to see this kind of switch to that first target audience I mentioned. And two, it'd be good to see you properly either start from scratch or review this with that kind of like, okay, well, does it make sense to go from here to here? Let me really put myself in the shoes of that reader. And whenever you're reviewing copy, and this doesn't just go for this piece, this is for everyone watching, I think the single best piece of advice I could give for reviewing copy is to really manifest the personality and the problems and the desires of the person who you're writing to. Like really just try and put yourself in that mindset of, okay, like the biggest thing I care about right now is like just start copywriting. I'm frustrated that I'm not going anywhere. Everyone keeps telling me to read more copy, but like I think that's stupid, for example. Like that's the mindset I'm trying to get into while I'm reading this, which is exactly why I started off by saying this would just kind of annoy me because it just tells me like, hey, you're wrong. I don't want to be told I'm wrong. I want to be told that I'm misunderstood. Okay, but again, I'm not going to review all this again because again, there were bits like in here where you were talking about, I remember the bullets were really good. I remember you were talking about the way you were breaking down the system, I think was really good. I think that there's a lot of good meat in here. I just think that the targeting you're doing and how you're trying to connect points A to B, I think need to improve. Hopefully I've given you enough constructive criticism of how to do that. But again, I want you to go away. I want you to come back, and I want you to submit this again. Like I want to see it again. So, right. I hope that helps. Well done for continuing to submit as well. Like seriously appreciate. Like hopefully every single time you're going back with more notes on like, okay, I understand this and this now. Nice. All right. Next one, but let's answer some questions first. Oh man. Oh, I need to scroll back up a bit. Oh god, there's been a few questions. Okay, we've done that one. Do you know any good job boards other than Upwork and Fiverr? Nope. Sorry, I didn't really use job boards. I used Fiverr quite a lot when I started actually, but not Upwork, and I haven't used them in a while. There's like Facebook groups. Is there one called like the Copy something? That does not help. Like everything is called the Copy something. Is it just the Copy job board? Something like that? There's a few. I'm sure if you type in the Copy on Facebook, it will probably come up. I know people have sung the praises of that, but I'm afraid I don't know any. Hey Alex, I heard that you became a copywriter with free lessons from copy hackers without purchasing a course. Is this still possible today to become a good copywriter while learning is from free stuff? Absolutely, it is. And yes, I did. Copy hackers was they were like the first. Ooh. Now, they weren't the first thing I've read, I don't think. I feel like the very first thing I ever read was Scientific Advertising. Or was it Copy Hackers? And then I got recommended Scientific Advertising. I can't remember which way around it was now. But regardless, yeah, I rate Copy Hackers stuff quite highly. It's not all, like, looking back on it, there are ways they teach which I don't agree with. And, like, there are things that that they're quite big on formulas, which I'm not now, but I think is a good place to start, and I think they give a solid foundation. So yeah, Copy Hackers, and I think I went through there was like a series of like 8 books they put out for free once. They weren't big books, they were like small ebooks. But yeah, I still recommend their stuff. And similarly, copy that as well. Like you can go through all of our stuff. All of our free stuff is more than enough to get started. You do not need to buy a course to become a copywriter. I didn't. I can name like at least 3 or 4 people who are my friends that didn't. Sean didn't, for example. I don't think Rod ever did. I don't think Lindsey did. So yeah, you do not need to buy a course to be and they weren't even the friends I was thinking of, by the way. But you don't need to buy a course to be a copywriter. Absolutely not. Dude, it's like 12:35 a.m. It isn't here. I'm sorry if it is there. God, where are you then? That's like that's hours away. That's like 5 hours away. So you must be way over there. Where are you? Like somewhere in Asia, I'm guessing. I'm in England, so it is only 7:58 here right now. By the way, I love your hard work. Thank you. This is, believe me, this is not hard work. This is fun. This is relaxing. This is a way to wind down for me. How do you know it's great copy just starting out? I can't remember what that's in response to, I'm afraid. Is it better to submit copy for review through email or Discord? Definitely Discord, because that's where we put out the calls for copy. So if you're a Patreon and you're in the exclusive critiques channel, usually every Tuesday or every other Tuesday / Wednesday, we'll put out a call for copy. I think I did mine yesterday. I just tagged everyone and said, hey, put copy below. Does saying, I know you have been told reading great copy is the way to learn, enough to intrigue them to read the rest of the copy? Well, I think I covered that, hopefully. What type of copy is this? Is an email sales page? It is a product description / page for this product, which is on our website. Gentlemen, that you gotta, okay, right, you're gonna say something else. I was gonna say you gotta say something else because that's a build up. Yo, Alex, yo, Ramen, how's it going? For CT products, is it best to assume the reader is a warm client who is problem aware? Right now, I would say yes in most cases. Don't get too hung up on the stage of awareness. I would just go into it assuming that in fact, Sean has a great video, a free masterclass, actually, I think it is. He has a great free masterclass coming out soonish, maybe in the new year, about the stage of awareness, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyway. But to answer your question, I wouldn't worry too much about the stage of awareness. I would worry more about, like what you've just said, where are they coming from? Now, if they are seeing this product, this masterclass page, my assumption would be that it's because they have been recommended it by someone, because they've seen something that refers to the problem they're having and they want to solve that. So when you talk about problem aware there, I do agree with you. I think in most cases, it's more beneficial to just target people who are like, oh, well, I don't know, let's go on a random one to give context. I don't know, let's scroll down. Let's go on this one. Creating unique angles. Like, let's say, for example, they're like, oh God, all my copy like just kind of feels the same. Like I can't come up with anything original. Boom, like, right, this is the masterclass for them, right, for the people who are going to be saying that. Let's do this one. Or, man, I feel like I can't get a job. Like I want to apply to all these in-house roles, but I feel like my CV, I feel like my applications suck. Boom, right, CV masterclass. Okay, makes sense. You don't need to write to people who are like, oh man, I need money, and then you write to those people and you have to convince them that going in-house is the right way to do it first, and getting a CV is the right way to do it, and then tell them that this is the best place to do a CV. I would just theme these towards people who have probably been recommended to go and look at these products because they have the problem that the products try to solve. Hopefully that makes sense. I think he can talk about Kyle Milligan here as well. What were we talking about? Oh, this? Like, oh, studying copy? Yeah. Boom, fair enough. There you go. There's someone else to talk about. NESB, new, easy, safe, big. New, easy, safe, big. There you go. Oh, and can I remember the companions to those? Oh, it's been a while since I read Take Their Money. God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, New, I think, is it new and different? I want to say. Easy and quick, I think. Safe and can't remember. And then it's big and I can't remember. It's been so long. I might have absolutely butchered that. But yeah, long story short, like new, easy, safe, big is a fun system. I used to really like. That was one of the first ones I learned when I was reviewing copy. It really helped me. I don't use it anymore, like just because I've kind of found I felt my own way through of how I break down copy and stuff. But it's absolutely a great place to start, or indeed to like keep throughout. I still, because of that, I always still look for like, oh, okay, well this is because it's new and this is making it simple. Like new, easy, safe, big. You can absolutely break down like the vast majority of the copy world into those things. Can't believe I can't remember it. I had those on cards and everything. They aren't here anymore. I think they're in a box. But anyway, what awareness level do you think they should be targeted to? Again, like if I had to pick one, it would be problem aware. But problem aware / solution aware. So either someone who knows they have the problem, or someone who knows there are other things that are other courses or other places they can probably go and find the information. But like they just want to know what the solution is. But again, don't worry too much about the stage of awareness for these. It's one of the best critiques you've given to a single piece of copy. Learning a lot. I'm very, very glad to hear that. Write the stage of awareness in big letters on the page to remind yourself who you're writing for. But yeah, this is also something that you can absolutely do. When to know when to write about problem versus just the product. Like there's a course about setting up AI automation agency. What should I target in that? It depends where the list is coming from. Where are the readers coming from? Like that's what it depends. People often ask questions like this. They say, oh, what is right and what is wrong? Or what should I do and what shouldn't I do? Ultimately, I would write, let's just say, a product page about, or a sales page about setting up an AI automation agency. I would write that page very differently if I was targeting A, people who just wanted to earn money and like just wanted to get rich quick scheme, or B, people who had been referred by an existing AI newsletter. I would write that page very differently depending on like which of those audiences it were. And it may be that, there's another audience who came from a very specific influencer. There's another audience who have just gone through a beginner's course on AI. There's another audience who only get referred once someone has once they've finished like a full set of coursework or something like on an AI qualification, right? Like there's so many different scenarios in which you might write that page for that you can't possibly say like, how much should I write about the problem versus how much do I write about the product? Because it totally depends on who you're writing to. That's called an avatar, right? Yes, probably. I can't remember what I was referring to, but an avatar is effectively a personification of your ideal reader. Hey, there's an imposter here. You're the real Julio Caesar. You are the real Julio Caesar, Julius. Is it Cult of Copy? Maybe. I don't think so. Maybe. Is it the Cult of Copy job board? Yes, that might be right. I think there are 2 Facebook groups on there. That might be right. I should stop answering questions. Oh my god. I'm making a website for myself with homepage, about me page in newspaper ad style, just text. Is it a good idea, or should I go for a standard landing page style? Something I will tell you is that we love long copy, but the average person who is buying most normal products or looking for most normal services, they don't want to read long copy. And if copy looks long, they will not start reading it, especially if they're not that interested or they're only going to get a bit of information. Long copy works great when people are naturally intrigued or interested by the subject or subject area. It's why it works well in financial and health, because those people are looking to invest and to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. So they're willing to like read for a long time because it's interesting to them. Your like page, your about us page, like how I don't mean this in a horrible way, but how interested are people in you really? Probably not that interested, because like you're just a random person to them. Like even if you can do something they really want, like they're not going to spend an hour reading all about you. Like they want to know kind of the big things. They want to see the proof, the fact that you can do what they want. Might want to know a bit more about you, just see you're a real person. So if you write in a newspaper style, like just text, I don't think it will get as much attention. But hey, go for it. Like it doesn't matter at the end of the day. About us pages don't really, in my experience, don't really make a difference anyway. But if it's a homepage and you're making a website for a specific service or something, I would maybe just try and think a bit more like, okay, well, what are the big points that I can hit they're interested in? How do I make it look like it's easy to read and easy to skim? Because usually people are going onto a website to review a service or someone that they want those facts and they want to make sure that it's going to solve their problems. They don't want to sit there reading for ages. How long was it before you got your first job on Fiverr? Oh God, I can't remember. That was too long ago now. I don't think it was that long. I don't think it was that long before I got a job on Fiverr. But this was 5 years ago though. So 6, no, God, more than that. 6 years ago. 7 years ago. God. I just did a whole interview on the Copy That channel about my start. If you want to, I'm not going to bore everyone with it now. 8% of writing emails is knowing what to write about every single day, bro. Yes. What? 8% of writing emails is knowing what to write about every single day, bro. I might just be an idiot because I can't understand that sentence, but I'm also quite tired. That's like Dubai. I don't know what that was in reference to. Come to Woolwich. I'm all right. Maybe one day. What courses does the Patreon subscription include? God damn. I need to review. How many more of these are there? Okay, I'll answer this and then I'll go back to reviewing copy. I've been doing this for nearly an hour and I've only reviewed one piece of copy. What courses does the Patreon subscription include? Nearly all of the masterclasses that we have. So I think it has all the masterclasses that we were looking at there. It has my ecom adventure, which is like 20 hours-ish of me like starting to set up an ecom store and doing all the research for that. Although, be warned, I don't actually set up an ecom store because life got in the way and then I started doing a load more work in real life, and I was like, I can't like justify setting up another e-commerce store right now when I've got other shit to do. But that's still very valuable. I go through the whole research process. I teach a lot about ecom. I review other ecom stores. There's, oh god, dude, there's loads. I could just show everyone right now, I suppose. Should I? Let me stop sharing just in case like any Patreon emails come up or something stupid like that. But here's a behind the scenes look at the Patreon. Where are we? Posts. Here we go. I'll just share this with you really quick. So, like, this is like the pinned post. And this is kind of all the stuff, legacy stuff we have in there. I don't even know if this, oh, so it has some masterclasses. Like, it has every Q&A stream we've ever done. I think that's like more than 10 of those. There's a bunch of cold outreach videos, me and Rod talking about cold emails, showing you how to do like audits and stuff, reviewing website audits, my ecom adventure, Rod's finance adventure, a load of email copy masterclasses, a load of copy analysis, a load of regular marketing stuff. You get the book that we wrote in there for free as well. Loads of just hanging out and behind the scenes streams of stuff we did. Loads of stupid stuff, bloopers, I guess. And then just loads of miscellaneous bits. This isn't even all of it. This is just the stuff that I think we thought, oh, we'll pin that. There's like a lot more book clubs, reports, and then, yeah. So I'll stop showing that now in case I show any more Patreon info. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next one. Make It Rain masterclass. Make it. Jesus. Hey, it's the one I just went on. Make It Rain, a masterclass in generating unique copy angles. Brilliant. Which is that one. Cool. So this is the masterclass where Rod is talking about originality and how to come up with ideas. Is that one? Or is it just unique angles, I think? Bad idea. Yeah, I think it's just the idea one generally. Okay, let's read this. Nothing at the top. There's no context, but that's okay. I can infer who this is meant to be written for, and I can pretend like I'm that person. As a copywriter, one of the best and most powerful ways to set your work apart. Let me start again. As a copywriter, one of the best and most powerful ways to set your work apart with your clients and stay ahead of your competition, AI included, is defined by your ability to bring uniqueness and originality to your copy. I like it. Coming up with unique angles allows you to position your copy in a never-seen-before way. Gives your copy a sense of novelty that makes it more impactful not only to your readers but also to your clients, making you their go-to copywriter. Plus, it can get you some good recognition for your work, especially if you've been yearning for some. Okay, interesting. I like this so far. I think this got some good stuff on there, and let me tell you why. Who would be interested in making their copy unique? Well, it's one of two kinds of people, and they've hit on both here. Number one is either people who just want to feel like they're original and they're unique, and the people can't take away that thing from them. So, just people who want to be recognized for that. So awesome. Hit the nail a bit on the head, a bit square on the head with that, but fine, like it would still make sense if I felt like I wasn't being appreciated or I wanted to be known for that. Secondly, the second kind of people are ones who are worried that they're just the same as everyone else, or they're just the same as AI, like that they're worried about that. This already, I can see would already work potentially for just by people going, oh, how do I protect myself from AI as a copywriter? And send them to this. Oh, well, the way to stay ahead of your competition in AI is doing this. Like, okay, interesting. So I'm liking this so far. If you're looking for your copy to stand out, blow your clients' minds, and not worry about AI getting in the way, join Rod in this 33-minute masterclass and learn his bulletproof method to bring unique angles to life. Note, this masterclass is also available on our Patreon. Cancel anytime. Secret bonus lesson when you buy today for $15. What? There's a bonus lesson? Dude, I want that. So cool. I like that. I like that lead, if you like. I like the description. I think that is solid. How to craft unique copy that leaves your clients dazzled and not even AI can produce. Ooh, I like that. And you know what? It's congruent with the message because you're effectively repeating what you set up here, but in a very impactful way, which just reiterates what you were saying, and makes me realize that yes, this is the thing I want. Classic headline of how to do this without this. Classic complex. Have you noticed when reading a copy that everything sounds the exact same? Or when you're in the writing process, you can't seem to break out from the same vague concepts and every recycled angle you come up with is everything but unique? If this feels like you, perhaps you've missed a key factor about this business. And if there's something you need to understand, is this one thing. Copywriting is not about writing and selling words. It's about creating and selling ideas. And as you might be thinking already, yes, unique angles can only come from good ideas, something AI can't do. So if you're looking to impress your clients with unique copy and stay far ahead of the regurgitated copy AI always throws at you, listen to Rod, the man that even brands like Nike have recognized is good enough to generate ideas and angles for them. And today he wants to show you how he does it. Right. Now, one thing I want to say about this, there are a few little bits in here which like the impact could just be a bit more. It could be a bit on point, a bit more on point. There's a couple of grammar mistakes which broke up my rhythm a bit. But broadly speaking, this flows quite well and you're not darting around from idea to idea. You're staying in this theme of like, hey, if you want to be unique, you feel like the stuff you're doing right now maybe isn't, and you haven't quite got the grasp of how to make everything different, and you're kind of worried about AI, like you're just talking about that core idea of like, this is how you make something unique and something that no one else can do, not even AI. Because naturally, if I want to be unique, one of the big worries I'm going to have at this point in time is, but what about AI? Like, isn't that going to do it? I might not even be worried about AI taking my job. I may just be worried about like, yeah, but how would someone see me as different to AI? So I like this. Really love this. Great. What word am I looking for? Not proof. I guess it is proof, but there was a specific word I had in mind. Cred. There we go. Great cred to Rod. Like you're giving him, you're really painting him as like the expert in this, and then immediately following up with proof. The man that even brands like Nike, who are obviously well recognized, have recognized as good enough to generate ideas and angles for them. And today he wants to show you how he does it. I like it. In this masterclass, you will learn how to generate the kind of ideas that allow you to write highly unique copy. Right. So this really, in a nutshell, kind of sums up what this masterclass is trying to do. This is going to teach me how do I generate ideas that allow me to come up with unique copy. So I'm worried about not being able to write unique copy, and I want to know how to be different. Like that's ultimately what I want. And I think that is a fine thing to target, because if anyone ever comes to me now, this is actually a good way of how I kind of judge the pages. So if you're looking to get paid for this, like this is, listen, because I'm kind of revealing one of the ways I judge these. If I can imagine someone on Discord or something asking me like, hey, Alex, I have this big problem. Like, what do I do? I want to be able to go, hey, go look at this. Like that is one of the ways I judge this. So if someone came to me and they said like, I can't quite seem to make my copy like, I read other copy and it seems like it seems like they just have this idea and they got it out of nowhere, and it's really unique. Mine just, I seem to like rely on cliches, and I can't really break out of this spell. I don't know how it's different to other copywriters. Go look at this page. Let's imagine I've just asked that question in the Discord. I've just asked, I'm worried because, I feel like my copy isn't very unique. It just seems to sound the same. I don't really understand how other people come up with like new things. As a copywriter, one of the best and most powerful ways to set your work apart with your clients and stay ahead of your competition and included is defined by your ability to bring uniqueness and originality to your copy. Oh, right. Okay. Well, uniqueness and originality, good. And I'm worried about how I'm doing it because of these things. So that makes sense. I want to come up with angles. Yep, I want to be novel because right now it doesn't feel like good, but it's going to be more impactful and it's going to make me someone's go-to copywriter, which is the thing I'm ultimately worried about. Plus, it's going to give me some recognition for your work. Okay, great. Like, it's not hitting on every single point of me specifically, but also there's going to be people who ask questions slightly differently. Some people will ask, how do I stay ahead of AI? Some people will ask specifically, like, how do you even come up with angles for copywriting? I don't understand it. All of those people have that kind of core problem, and I could point all of them to this landing page now and say, yep, like your core problem is you need to come up with unique angles. This explains how to do it. Great. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Did we review this one and it's been punched up? I feel like it has been, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Because I seem to remember you starting with plus before, and it was a ballsy move. Plus, uncover why the path to writing unique copy is not in the words. What you think about ideas is actually wrong. Watch as Rod redefines what an idea is and discover how you can apply his definition the next time you're writing generating unique angles. Why new is not so new. See 3 different ways of generating ideas and why you only need to focus on 2 of them. I didn't know he was a DJ. Watch how Rod remixes a headline and brings a completely unique angle to life for a survival promo. That's better. I think I remember reviewing this one last time and being like, it's a bit out of the blue. I'm not sure. This now gives it some kind of substance to sit on. A wild card, the little known secret to come up with unique angles so good you'll have clients coming back for more. The best part only takes 1 minute. Warning, the one thing you should never do when generating new angles for your clients, it could be a death sentence for your career. Cool. I think these bullets are decent. I think they could be punched up and there could be more of them. They could be made slightly better. I would like to see you reference kind of what you've set up here again, like about AI. I think there are things potentially that you can lean into a bit more because you said AI a few times. Like, I want to know where in it, which part of this class is going to make me bulletproof against AI. Even if Rod doesn't say AI in any of this, you can still say like, this is a thing that's going to bulletproof you against any AI, no matter how long in the future it comes out, for example. Wow, I need to see that. Don't let your copywriting journey be defined by the ordinary. If you want to strive for excellence and leave an imprint on the clients you work with, but you've been struggling writing the same kind of copy over and over, this masterclass will give you the tools necessary to come up with great ideas so you can write unique pieces of copy. Finally, and respect and rational user from your clients, order now to get started. Okay, the only point I want to make here, I feel like this ending starts to steer a bit more into like a different point. I know you've mentioned this up here, but you can mention a different point in like a list of bullets because it's just there to kind of plug a gap, if you see what I mean, right? A lot of people say, don't throw loads of benefits in, which is right. If you've got like one message you want to go for, then stick with that. If, however, you're writing about something where there are a few reasons people would want to buy it, it's fine to stick an extra benefit in. It's not gonna dissuade people. So it's fine to kind of stick it in here as a like, oh, by the way, I would maybe make this a little bit more subtle. How would I do that? I hear you ask. Plus, it can get you some good recognition for your work, especially if you've been yearning for some. I may instead write it like plus watches clients can't maybe not watches clients can't believe, but like plus find out how clients won't believe that you're coming up with things that are so unique again and again and again, or watch how your clients show their friends and family about like the new copy that's just been written for them, right? Or I don't know, I'm starting with pluses because plus is there. Or feel proud to show off your work to other copywriters as they come to ask you for your advice on how they can do the same, right? Each of those things imply like recognition. I may go that angle instead of blatantly saying like, hey, you deserve to be recognized for what you're doing. But that's just nitpicky. Point I was trying to make is it's fine to throw that in here because it can satisfy what someone is feeling. I think ending just on that point when there are a couple of other points, or the other main point of this is like, you can craft unique copy, and AI isn't going to be able, like no one else is going to be able to like hold a candle to you, and it's going to be completely original. That has been the core idea of this page. I would end on that. I would just end on that. You can still mention, like, oh, the recognition, but I would end, the solid ending should be around that main point you've been making. So here's the deal I'm going to do for you. I don't actually know who produced this. Let me have a look on Discord quickly. Where are we? David? Is this the Make It Rain one? Yes. David. David, here's the deal I'm going to make you. If you can basically just watch what I've just said and make any little changes that I've made, clean up the grammar in here, really read it out loud, make sure that it all makes sense, make sure that you're not stumbling over your words to get there, see if you can punch little bits up, maybe add a bullet about AI if you can, and then switch this kind of final point so it's more reiterating like what you've said and doubling down on that core point. If you do those things, I like this enough and I think it does a strong enough job that I would be willing to pay for this. So if you can do those things and then you message it over to me, you at me in the Discord or something, it doesn't have to be in the next Whetstone Wednesday, I will pay you $150 for this, David, because I think this is good and I think you've hit the nail on the head with who you're targeting, and I think it's a congruent message for the most part, and I think it deserves recognition. So well done, David. Money. I don't have any money. Oh no, I do. Money. Oh, I need to get a haircut. I'm gonna take that and pay in cash tomorrow. I need to book the haircut. Anyway, cool. Well done, David. But only if you make those changes. If you don't, I will never pay you any money. Cool. I should go back and have a look at questions now and drink water because I am thirsty. I also realized I kept that message up. Whoops. So many. I'm guessing that's in response to that. Thank you very much. Hope new. Here we go. Shah's coming in clutch. New only, easy fast. Easy fast? Easy anybody. Easy anybody. That's it. Big, fast, safe, predictable. There we go. I knew you guys are coming clutch. Thank you very much. Is it possible for audience arriving from multiple sources and then having to write a specific sales page for each source? Yes. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but yeah, like it is. How common is that? Probably not as common as I would want it to be, but it's relatively common practice to, if you know that people are coming from different sources, you write a specific landing page for them. Like that's common practice. Not as many, I say common practice, it should be common practice. Not as many businesses do it as should, but yeah, so if you know where they're coming from, you should write a page that's themed towards them if you have the time and resources to do that. But like that we've just reviewed, for example, I just went through a few different people who may be interested in this course and showing you how this page does cater to all of them because they have that same core problem, and that's something that's important to remember is like, not every page has to be like so insanely focused on just one thing, right? And that can trip. It's better to more towards that than towards, generality. But some beginners, I think they take it too seriously. Like they take the idea of like the one reader too seriously, and they go, right, I have to come up with an exact ideal client. She's a mum, she's got 2 kids, blah, blah, blah. And then you write everything as if like you're talking to someone who has 2 kids. And I've literally seen people go like, when like when your 2 kids come home, like it's like, no, you don't need to go that specific. It's just meant to be a guidepost for you so you know roughly who you're talking to. And we've just seen an example of how a page can tread that line. Is SEO and product description of less importance for a CT kind of landing page when readers come from a warm lead versus an online platform like Amazon where people suck use? Yeah, you don't consider SEO in these pages. Like you don't need to consider them. It's fine. Yeah. Don't worry about bots. Don't worry about satisfying crawling bots or indexing bots or whatever. Just just write it as if it's persuading someone. I like your voice. Thank you, Pasola. I like your voice. I think earlier you also said that you like my jumper. I like your jumper and voice too. Lol, I'm sorry, Alex. Can't remember why you needed to say that, but I appreciate it anyway. Thank you, Pasola. That's nice of you. I don't know why you're responding as if you are me, but thank you. Thank you, True Potential, for thanking Pasola. I can't not imagine emo copy now. If someone wants to write some emo copy, which should only just be the word like no on a page, then I'd review that. Is a product description meant to be this long? Different places define product description as a different thing. Ultimately, what is a product description? It's copy that describes a product. There's no actual word limit in that definition. But obviously with Amazon, for example, there is a character count. You can only go so far with it. But this isn't necessarily a product description. We're just saying it's the product page. So you can, people have, it's interesting because I think we gave an example of doing one of these and we said like, oh, have a short description here and then have, long stuff down here. And everyone's just been doing that. You don't need to do that. You can completely revamp how you think this should look. The only thing that you need to remember is this has to stay here and this button has to stay here. But like, we can have as many like words here as we want, right? So yeah, I should also probably turn my notifications off because Slack isn't coming through because I've been, okay, anyway. How much is Patreon? The Patreon is $20 a month. $19.99 a month or $20 a month, one of those prices. But this is important. Only join if you are actually making money from copywriting, or indeed if you really want to join and you can comfortably afford it. If you're in a position where you haven't made any money from copy yet and you can't really afford it, don't pay for it. Go and watch all our free stuff. You can make a living off of copywriting just from watching our free stuff. Hey Alex, is copywriting and web development with code and without code a good combination to make money online? Yeah, I think any two skills that complement each other and that take work away from a business owner is a good combination of skills to make money online, like for sure. If you can say to someone, hey, I will not only make you a website, I will also write all the stuff on that website so you don't need to worry about it. Great. So most business owners will like that because you are taking away work from them, or you are making it so they don't have to spend more money on another person. So yeah, any combination of skills that takes work away from a business owner, I think is a good combination to make money online. How many sources are there on average? I'm not sure what this means. Are we referring to like where people come from? I'm assuming we mean, in which case, there is no average. Totally depends. An Amazon product page may have 50 sources. A sales letter may have one, and anywhere in between. Like sales letters can have dozens, obviously, and one Amazon product may only have one. One may be prioritized over the other. Like one may be, right, this is SEO focused, we're expecting organic traffic to come. Others may be, right, this is an affiliate deal, so people can put it anywhere. It may be that this is from a Google ad. Unfortunately, it's not possible to answer that question. I wrote a sales page for a hypothetical service like Motley Fool, and critiques telling me to write a sales letter rather than just a mid-sized sales page that is similar to Motley Fool. I don't know what to do. Depends what the what's the Motley Fool again? Is that just like telling you how to invest? All right, I know I'm subscribed to them, but I don't actually know what they do. Yeah, they do it's just advice for investing. So it's just an info pub. Totally depends. Were you born before 1972? Yes, I was. I want to see I'm not giving an email. Oh guys, I'm tired. I would need to see the copy to know what is good. Again, and it's like, who is it targeted at? I think you could very easily get someone to sign up for a service like the Motley Fool without a sales letter. Yeah. Oh, I see. Thanks, Mr. Myatt. Mr. Myatt is my father. I'm Alex. Is it relative to the stage of awareness of my audience, or what should I consider? Well, yeah, like that too. There's so many things to consider there, and it's hard when you just write copy on its own. Like, that's why whenever I didn't do this when I began, because I had to learn this, but whenever I started to do spec pieces, I always started like by thinking, right, well, where is this person coming from? What have they just seen to have watched this, to get to this like page? That helps put me in frame of mind. So you need to decide that first before you decide what is the right way to write it. By the way, keep the hair. Thanks. But I appreciate that. But it's getting a little bit long, not as long as it has been in the past. And it's Christmas, so everywhere's going to be shut for a while, and I need to get it cut so I can go and see family and friends. Speaking as a former web dev, there's really a lot to learn to be a web dev. You've been doing too much work. Oh yeah, if you don't know how to be a web dev already, I should say, like, you don't need to learn like that to be a successful copywriter. If you're already a web dev and you can build websites very easily, and you're like learning copywriting now and you want to do both, then you can go for it. Like, you can go for that if that's what you want, but you know, that's heavy learning to do coding and copywriting at the same time, because I don't think you're ever going to be very really good at both quickly. You know, you certainly can be in the long run, but if you're talking about starting from zero on both, then yeah, I would recommend one or the other. But hey, you may be a super machine who can like do loads. Guys, I've got a review. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 left. I'm sorry, everyone who gets in later, because I know I tend to like speed up as I go, in my opinion. Are you going to produce content on research on how to collect iVault more effectively? 100% we are. We have, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if you go onto the Copy That YouTube channel, if you go to, I don't know if it's called like the community tab or something, you'll see posts on there. And the most recent post is a poll. And that poll is just saying we are going to be making 4 massive videos in the new year about the basics of copywriting, how to write good copy, how to do research, and how to find clients. And they're going to be like multi-hour videos. They're going to be free, and they're going to be like everything you need to know from scratch. Like, so imagine you're starting at nothing. You guys can go and vote to decide which one you want us to do first. I believe how to write copy well is winning right now, but not by much. I think research is second. And people have been very vocal in the comments about us doing research. So research may be the next thing we do. Hi, bro. I want to ask you if it's good to start copywriting, web design, and landing pages at 13 is too early. You'd certainly be doing more than I was at 13. Let me give you some genuine advice, because I know that in Copy That, we don't try to sell to kids, to teenagers. And I know, believe me, Yanis, like, you know, you're 13 right now. I remember being 13, and right now you may feel like you get annoyed when people say that. You might get annoyed when people refer to you as like a kid or a child or whatever. Now, first thing to say is, like, I massively respect what you're doing, because you actually got the hustle to try and better your life at such a young age, which is a fantastic thing. I think that whenever you hear us say like, oh, we don't sell to kids and we don't want kids buying our stuff, don't take offense to that. The reason that we say that is because most people who are young find it easier to get sucked into get-rich-quick schemes. And there's a lot of get-rich-quick schemes out there. And if you just go on YouTube and you type in, how do I learn copywriting, you will find, or how to make money with copy, you will find a lot of YouTube gurus who pump out video after video after video saying how to make 10K a month and how to make $100 in your first like day or whatever as a copywriter, all this kind of crap. And they're just doing it so they can suck you in and then eventually get you to buy a course. Please be so wary of that, because it's great you're starting young, but also because you're young, you have not yet had the experience of like those people in life. So one, just be careful of that. In terms of your actual question, is it too young to start doing all this stuff at 13? Never too early, never too young to start anything, never too young to start bettering yourself. I think at 13, honestly, my brutal advice, no one is going to hire you at that young of an age, right? Now, maybe you already know that and you've accepted that and you just want to know how to, how do I prepare for that? My advice to you is start just bettering yourself generally. Like, read a lot of stuff, okay? Read about different ideas. Read a few books, not just about copywriting, just about life generally. Look at different points of view, look at different opinions. Don't get sucked into one corner of the internet where like someone is telling you like, hey, this is the stuff that's right and, you know, everyone else is wrong. Or, you know, don't get stuck into any kind of like extremism or anything like that. Like, just at that age, just broadly have a look at everything at life, and start to think about, okay, well, how can I be healthy and how can I exercise and how can I start like putting those things in place so in the next few years, when everyone else is kind of busy getting sucked into like the social media wave and like, you know, not being sociable and all that kind of stuff, you can actually start doing things that again and again have proven to make people better. Now, that sounds like a bit of a fluffy answer from me. The only reason I'm saying it is because 13 is young, and committing yourself to one thing so early probably isn't going to like last, because you'll go through a lot of phases between now and, you know, when you're like 18 or 20. So I wouldn't worry too much about like doing one thing or the other. But no, it's not too early, and I'm glad that you're already looking at this kind of stuff. The more you can learn now, the more you can take in, the more you can read about, the more ideas you're exposed to, the better you'll be for it in 5 years, which I know sounds like an age away right now, but believe me, if you have this attitude when you're 13, by the time you're 18, you will still be considered very, very young, and you could already be earning a lot of money and making a big difference in the world and looking after the people you love, and like that's fantastic. That was a bit of fluff, but you know, I remember being 13, and I now know what I wish someone would have said, and that's probably what I wish they would have said, instead of say, hey, definitely go down this path. Why are you asking me this? Because like I've only reviewed 2 bits of copy. Short answer, there you go. 1,000 Suns. I'm not going to go into Warhammer right now because, yeah. Designing Canva. Canva's great. I love Canva. Let's say they saw just an ad on Facebook that says 5 best stocks to invest in, then to squeeze page about some double down stocks into their sales page. Should that be long? Could also come from an email. Are you charging someone for this? I'm willing to bet that if someone, this is what I always say, copy should be as long as it needs to be. That sounds stupid, but it's so true. Like, don't listen to people going, oh, it needs to be long, it needs to be a long one, or it should be longer than that, or it should be shorter than that. Like, da-da-da. If the only advice they can give you is, oh, it should be longer or it should be shorter, without saying why, don't fucking listen to them. Copy should be as long as it needs to be. That's the only answer. If they say, that looks a bit long because you don't need this and this is irrelevant and like this paragraph doesn't make sense, okay, well then you're starting to get somewhere. Or if you're saying, that seems a bit short, like you haven't actually shown any proof yet, you haven't introduced the guru or whatever, again, that makes sense. If they're just saying, it should be longer or it should be shorter, don't listen to them. If someone has gone through that kind of squeeze page funnel, well, I'm willing to bet they already probably kind of trust your views because they've just gone and given you your email and they've said, this is good, and now I'm looking at the next part of the funnel. Probably doesn't need to be extremely long. It doesn't need to be sales letter quality to get someone to sign up to a low ticket offer. It could just be like, if you want, these kind of stock investments, hey, just look at our kind of history of, I'm not really into stocks, but like look at our history of financial gains or whatever. If you want these kind of consistently and you want to get behind the scenes like access and you want to know new stuff, then you can sign up right here. Here's a load of people who've already done this. Here are some winners. Here's our like method of doing it. Sign up. That doesn't strike me as it needs to be super long. It probably could be a sales letter. I don't think it needs to be. Alex, probably women fall in love with your intelligence like raking leaves. That's a very poetic way of putting it. I don't think so, but thanks. Do you get hit on every stream? I will admit it happens more frequently than I thought it ever would. It's nice, thanks. But yeah, probably just the English in me that's kind of like, I don't like people saying things like that. I remember I remember in one video when I was in America visiting Sean and Rod, and there was, I think we were at a marketing conference, and we went out, and like Sean just went like, hey, look at this comment that someone left on your video. No, it was Sean's wife actually. She was like, hey, look at this comment that someone left on the video, and it was someone just going like, oh, I never thought I'd have as hot a teacher as Alex. And it was like a girl, and I was like, that's weird. Yeah. It's weird for me because I don't know what you guys look like or where you are, but for you, I guess it's normal. Kind of know. I know how movie stars feel. I really do. I'm joking. I voted for the research video. Yeah, the research video may well be the one that we end up going with. You're amazing, really. Yeah, for 100%. Yanis, you're amazing. I crave for the research video, and I hope it covers how to do research for a $5 gig. We will definitely talk about that, like the amount of research you should be putting into things. Yeah, no, we'll definitely be doing that. Not Santa anymore. Oh man. Yeah, God, my room is a mess because like it's actually full of Secret Santa stuff, and I'm like doing so much right now, but I do still have my Santa hat. I didn't really think I was going to do another stream before Christmas, so I probably should have called this one the Christmas stream, although I also think Rod might be planning to do one at some point soon, so anyway. Very good advice to teenagers there, Alex. Yeah, I try and do my best. I have not reviewed copy in ages. This has just turned into a Q&A. I said I'd be doing a Q&A stream soon. Hey, maybe this is it. Please do a video on research. It's a vital part of copywriting, yet content, the very important aspects lacking, which is basically crime. For anyone who really wants to see a research video, like we did this a while ago, so I don't know how many people have seen it. We had a whole live stream just on research. Let me see if I can get it up, and then I can go to it. Copy that. Oh, I'm not showing the screen. Oh well. Let me find it first. Oh, was it a live? I think it was a live. I remember the thumbnail because I remember it had a weird looking thing on it. Oh, did we delete it? Surely we didn't. Videos. Let me just search it. Research. Oh, there it is. So maybe the original live stream was just done on Twitter. Twitch. So that might be why. Hang on, let me skip this ad. No one wants to watch an ad. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was a year ago. It's a few thousand views actually, which surprises me. But like, go and watch this one. Oh crap, was that when we had Daniel Throstle invaders? Yeah, it was. Good guy. Go and have a look at this if you haven't. If you can't wait for that research video, the new one we do will be a lot bigger and more structured than this. This was more just like us, kind of, just chatting. And also, actually, as that top comment just said, my 5-hour video has like a whole section on research. So yeah, there's that. But we'll go into more detail for sure. Do you think it's possible to do copy and school? I'm doing software engineering and it's really time consuming. I feel I would have to give up one soon. It's definitely possible. I was working a full-time job when I first learned copy, so it's 100% possible. Whether you should or not is up to you. Software engineering sounds awesome and it sounds like a stable career path, so do go for that. Like, I think that's awesome. Only you can make the decision, ultimately. Only you can make the decision. Love the answer, even though you didn't really see the copy, but answers though you did. Much love, Alex. No, thank you very much. 9 Ray J Gaming. Appreciate it. Alex the movie star. Exactly. One day. Thank you, bro, for all this advice. I do all of this just to help my family live a better life and so many other things. My 20th day is copywriting and I'm still learning. Dude, I 100% get it. I've been exactly there. At your age, I was a carer, so I totally understand wanting to give the people you love a better life. It's my first year. Jesus, wow. yeah, you're only 20 days into this. You've got a long way to go, like, ahead of you. Like, don't stress out. You've got ages before you're, like, considered old or a teenager or whatever. So yeah, like, don't get too caught up in it. Just do your best right now. Just concentrate on trying to build yourself as a person. You're very right about the clients, but I pray to God to give me some good clients and meet good persons. If I wrote something wrong, I'm very sorry, but I'm from Romania and here they don't speak English. Okay, we'll tell you what, Yanis, now I have that context. This is what I would tell you. Now, this is going to seem biased because I am English, but I know a lot of people with ESL, so like English as a second language. And let me tell you, in not every case, but most cases, the better English and the more native English, / American that you can speak, the more opportunities are open to you. If you want my brutal advice, get very, very good at speaking and reading English and understanding English. It will make life so much easier for you as you move forward, and it will open up so many more opportunities to you. So if you really want my advice, you're young enough that your brain is still like plastic and you can still take things in quite easily. I would start watching. I mean, I know you probably do this anyway, but like really double down on watching loads of videos in English, reading a bunch of stuff in English, picking up on colloquialisms. That was hard to say. Colloquialisms. That's even more unfair to say colloquialism. But yeah, like native ways of speaking, so like how Americans speak and stuff like that. Do that now, because in a couple of years you will be like shit hot at writing and reading and speaking English, and that will open up so many more opportunities. Like, you're still young enough to like have that be your focus, and you'll be so glad that you did. Honest opinion, as someone who knows a bunch of people who do not live in the UK or America or Canada or wherever, and English is not their first language, but who do really well writing for English companies, yeah. That is what I would say. So there we go. Touch on the research process in the 5-hour video. Yeah, exactly. Probably a video where they shared 4 pixels per person. Yeah, the early days of Copy That were not the highest produced. Alex, do you use nootropics or other brain enhancing supplements? Nope, I never have. Maybe I will at some point, but I have been fine without them. Just do shit, basically, is my advice. How about if you're old and not a teenager who has time, would you still make a freelance copywriting? Yeah, for sure. Freelance copywriting, you can get into it at any age, any time, any place, like any ability of, any access to it. As long as you've got a computer or a phone and internet access, you can do it. It's a great career. I love it. It got me to where I am today. It does not matter how old you are. Like, you can absolutely do it. Do you believe after 1 year of working as a copywriter, you'd still be considered a junior? Do you expect to transition to a mid-level copywriter role? Put it like this. My first year of earning like copywriting, like doing copywriting full time, 1 year on from that, I was then effectively hitting 6 figures. So yes, you can absolutely transition to a higher place. You do not have to be a junior for that long. It's totally defined by you and the connections that you make and the kind of work that you do. So yeah, there's no reason that you would have to, stay like that. I've also just had a Discord message, and I think we also have a video going live today, I think. Maybe tomorrow. I'll copy that. Should probably plan these streams out better. Okay, I just spent way too long answering questions. Let's keep going with the copy. Ooh, I gotta zoom in for that one. Never apply for a job again. An advanced masterclass on networking. All right, that's one of mine. I remember doing that. And it is. Did I go past it? Oh yeah, it was literally the third on the page. So this product is one about networking, which basically means meeting people and getting people to like you so they give you jobs, pretty much. And again, I think I probably wrote this in like a second. In this masterclass, Alex walks you through everything you need to know about developing a profitable network, even if you're shy or introverted. I don't even know if I wrote that. I can't remember. So. Oh no. There's two. Again, I can see the person who wrote this next one is on there. So you can really quickly rewrite it based on what I say for this first one. Never apply for a job again. Advanced masterclass on networking. Alex, right now, if he wants to, would never have to apply for a job to get work ever again. And it's purely because of the network he's built over the years. In this masterclass, Alex goes over the 11 things you need to do to build a solid network like his. Okay, so that's doing a lot in a very short space, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But you are starting out with Alex right now, if he wants to, would never apply for a job to get work again. Who's Alex? Like, I know we were saying earlier that these people are likely to come from a YouTube page. That doesn't mean they necessarily know who I am right now, or they may not even come from YouTube at all. They may have just been recommended this because someone was like, oh, this does networking. This doesn't really give me enough of an introduction to show why people should trust me. So something to consider. It perhaps would be stronger just to start off by saying, imagine if you never had to apply for a job again to get work, or you never had to pitch for a gig, or you never had to send a pitch to get work, right? That's got my attention. And what if I told you that it was 100% possible, even if you're introverted, just by learning 11 things? I think there's a better word for things there somewhere. Okay, that's got me interested, because potentially the reason that I am here for this is because I want a more secure way of getting work. I don't have to continuously be applying for things. That might be it. Another reason might be I'm here because I just want to know how to do networking well. I would argue for this, and the way that I filmed this, that I remember, I mean, this was over a year ago now, but the way that I remember filming this was I was doing it with the intention of it being for people who wanted work, but they didn't necessarily want to keep applying. They wanted more ways than just pitching for gigs, right? So I wasn't doing this for someone who knows, I want to start networking. Masterclass wasn't done for those people, even though it still obviously makes sense for those people. It was done more in a frame of, hey, if you want work, but you don't want to have to keep pitching and you want a new way to attack this, this is for you. Let me show you what I've done over the years to make sure I don't need to apply anymore. So again, it's not awful that you framed it like me first. I just think it'd be good to give me some context. So that's what I think of that. How to build a network so solid you'll never have to apply for a job ever again. Now, I'm pretty sure that is just the name of the masterclass in the video. Alex does not have to go through the job process of sending CVs, getting references, or setting up interviews to get a job, because he's built a network so solidly he has a list of clients waiting to work with him. And this masterclass will explain how you can build this exact network that is self-sustaining and evergreen. What does that mean to the average person? This masterclass won't be a step-by-step formula. There's no A to Z formula that works in networking because everyone's situation is different and there's no one size fits all. But what you can do is learn to apply these 11 tips to make sure you have a solid network that gets you jobs. It doesn't matter if you are jobless or if you don't have any network right now, because with this masterclass, you will start to build a network where you'll never have to apply for a job ever again. Now, there's actually a bit in here there's a couple of bits in here that I quite like. I think you have the knack of setting an idea and then closing that idea off and saying and this is why it's great. For example, what you can do is learn and apply these 11 tips to make sure you have a solid network that gets you jobs. It doesn't matter if you're jobless or if you don't have a network right now. That is good copy in the sense that you're saying you only got to do this, plus it doesn't matter about this and it doesn't matter about this. We call those not statements. They are effectively qualifying me as oh, good, well, I don't have that and I don't have that, so I'm glad that I can still do this. It makes it feel like it's easier for me to do. I don't have to start from any further. It's right now, this has been made for me. That's good copy. I think where this falls apart a little bit is it's just kind of written almost feels like it was just written in one go. You're just kind of typing whatever comes to mind, you're just kind of writing it. You're not allowing any point to kind of linger and to kind of hit it home. So for example, what I mean is, let's do what I did for the other one. Let's just break down what each kind of paragraph is doing. Alex no longer needs to do the traditional method of getting clients. It's because he's built a network. You can build a network with this masterclass. It's not going to be a step-by-step formula because that isn't a possible thing. All you need to do is learn these tips. Doesn't matter if you haven't got any of these yet, and you're going to be able to build a network that's so good. That's a lot happening in such a short space. Isn't always necessarily a bad thing. However, I feel like you're not actually kind of pausing to give the impact of like why this is so new and why this is so different. You're kind of just assuming like, yeah, you know how good this is. Like, come along with me. Let's get to the next section of the page. Instead, imagine if you, instead of just kind of writing really quick and jumping from point to point to point to point, I'm not saying these things are irrelevant. I'm just saying that you're going through them quite quickly. Give a second to actually think about what what your reader has been told so far. Acknowledge that, and then tell them that it's not their fault that they, you may be sitting there without any clients, or barely having had any, or always having to rely on these things, and it's not your fault. It's because people always tell you to do the same old things to get clients. Nobody ever talks about this, and like more than that, nobody ever teaches how to do this. The answer is networking. You see how I'm building up like the frustration that the reader has already, making them feel like they're understood, and then bigging up this thing that I'm about to reveal, big reveal about like networking. Like I'm giving that the importance it deserves, so then they feel like, light bulb moment. Okay, I should be doing that. Like that now makes sense. That's what I'm missing. That's the piece of the puzzle. You're almost like not giving the idea that the light of day to kind of manifest in my mind. You're just kind of going really quick from point to point to point. About why you should care about this thing. Now, I almost feel like I would rather I reviewed more copy that's written like this than what I usually review. What I usually have to review, and it's kind of, we've seen it in a couple of other pieces, or like another piece in the stream, is usually I have to review like someone where there's kind of just kind of like fluff there that doesn't need to be there, or points that are irrelevant, or like things that are being said again, even though they don't need to be said necessarily. It's not adding anything. Like, and you have to cut that out and cut that out and cut that out. It's much easier to review copy where it's like this, and it's like, well, you're not giving it the time to kind of manifest. You're not like giving it the room it needs to breathe, if you like. You're not giving it the spotlight that's like, gonna make someone realize this is what I've been missing. Because at least you're not throwing loads of things in there that are irrelevant. You simply aren't highlighting the big thing. You're not giving it enough time. So I don't think this is bad, and I think there are good things in here that are good. I just think that you need to give a bit more time for what the idea is, and explaining to someone and showing them why this actually is going to be the thing that they care about. So far, you're kind of inferring too much. You're just assuming that they're going to be on board with this. Here are some of the things you'll learn in this masterclass. The easiest way to immediately start networking right at this moment, and this is a perfect example of it, is like you're kind of now just assuming that they understand the importance of networking. You've not really told me like why networking is so great. You've implied like, it's because it's different, but why is it different? Is it because you'll be the only person doing this? Is it because that inherently people who network are more liked, therefore they get more jobs? Is it because it's a better way to get people to notice you? Like, why is networking so good as compared to getting CVs? It's great that you've said like you no longer have to send CVs or get references or do interviews. Great. Why is that the case? Where is the difference in networking? You haven't yet kind of shown that to me. You need to have this trait to build a network. Even Mark 4 degrees. The best copywriters are always nice. I love that. I love bullets that do that, because as far as I'm aware, I was the first person I'd ever see do that, because I'd never seen that before, and I thought of it. And I know obviously I didn't invent it. I'm sure many people have done it before, but I really like that because it's a special place in my heart. Also, solid bullet. You need to have this, or maybe like just underline this trait to build a network. Even Mark 4 degrees. The best copywriters are always bang. I like that a lot. Good bullet. The more bat you put into networking, I think maybe just doing it once or twice, doing it 3 times in a row is a bit too much. So let's move on. People like shiny things. These are the subtle things you can do to keep people engaged. You need to meet them where they're at. Doesn't really make sense. A lot going on there. 3 different points without any real conclusion. This is one of the most important tips in the list. The best ways to network without looking like a weirdo or a long-lost sibling. Okay, that's confusing a little bit. That sounds bad. That sounds good. As in, like, that sounds like it's a good thing to be a long-lost sibling. Ignore the teenager in your brain. Do this to create a more reliable image so people refer and network with you more. Decent. Even if you've only slept 6 hours in the last week, you need to be doing this to be successful. The single trait is different between those who make it and those who don't. I think you're leaning in a bit too much like, oh, this trait and this trait and this trait. It's kind of getting a bit samey. Think of different ways you can frame this, even if you are talking about specific traits. Networking is a game of referrals. You need to make sure to do this to make everyone who refer you look good. Well, that's kind of killed the intrigue for me there. You've just told me like, oh, I just need to get referrals. Remember, bullets are all about intrigue, building that fascination up of like, oh, well, what is the thing that I'm going to get here? This kind of makes me feel like, oh, well, you're just going to tell me that I need to get referred from people. It doesn't really show me like why I should be interested in that. Okay. And then there's notes down the bottom. Okay, hopefully that helps. I've shown you a few things there, a few ways you can improve that. But yeah, there's some solid bits to build on in there. There's some solid bits to build on. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's 9 p.m. right now. It's 9 p.m. right now. I could theoretically go till 9:45. So like, gives me like 40 minutes. I think I can get these next 4 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit. 5 done in the next 40 minutes. I'm going to try my best. Let me just have a quick look at the questions. I was wondering what your response will be for pointing out to Santa hat. By the way, you looking for the hat made my day. You're very welcome. Oh, could you see it on the floor? Is that why? Anyway, but yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I could make your day with such a simple act. What should I learn? Graphic design or copywriting? I mean, I'm biased, so I'm going to say copywriting, but whatever you want to learn, they're very different skills. Yeah, probably easier to get a job as a graphic designer, I would say. Is it? I don't know. Maybe that's me thinking the grass is always greener, but like designers are more, businesses more inherently understand the benefit of a designer over a copywriter, even though, as we know, copywriters are better. Don't tell the designers I said that. All right, let's do this next one. Dude, that's my life. That's scary. I work with these people. Anyway, never apply for a job again, an advanced masterclass on networking. So another one. So let's have a comparison as well. Imagine job offers coming straight to your inbox. These offers aren't replies to cold emails you sent. They're not responses from job boards where you spent hours searching and applying. They're all from people you know. People you've met through the power of networking. You've made impressions and built relationships. And to those people, your name has become synonymous with copywriter. I like this. I think that this payoff could be better, but I still like it. I love this bit. I think that's great. I think this payoff should be they're simply people who have heard of you instead of they're all people you know. This makes it seem like I have to do a load of work, even though this masterclass is about like, you know, showing you how to do work, and you can still make reference to that later. Like, it sounds much easier for me if it's like they're all people who have heard of you. Or they're all people who already respect your reputation, like even though they've never seen like your work, or even though you've never even applied for anything. Like that to me makes like, oh, I want this. How am I going to get this? That's just one note, but I think that's a solid opening. Love that line as well. Put speech marks around that though. You don't have to, but I would like it if you did. In this 2-hour masterclass, Alex explains how to build a steady, self-sustaining network so that you can stop the constant hunt for clients. I may have used the word self-sustaining in somewhere in there, which might be why everyone else is using it. Oh, crap. Okay. In this 2-hour masterclass, Alex explains how to build a steady, self-sustaining network so that you can stop the constant hunt for clients. He breaks down into simple, common sense steps that anyone can do, even if you're shy or introverted. Nice. This is not a class for brand new copywriters. Networking will get you referrals, but you have to have the skills first. This course is meant for working copywriters who are looking for a sustainable, easier method of getting clients. Ooh, I like this description. I really like this description. This is solid. Who did this? Who did this? I'm going to find out who the hell did this. Natalie. Natalie, I like this so far. This is good. I should probably tell you why it's good instead of just saying, oh, this is good. That would be good, wouldn't it? If all the ones that I didn't think were great, I spent ages explaining. The ones I thought were good, I didn't explain at all. A few things going on here. This whole thing, first of all, makes this seem easy. This is something I want. It's immediately implying a benefit. I want jobs. I wouldn't be looking at a thing about how to get more work if I didn't want, more work. So immediately addresses the benefit I'm actually looking for. Great. But not just does that, it also does it in a very easy way. It's showing me like, oh, this is really simple. You barely need to do anything. Makes it easy. We were talking about Carl Milligan earlier. New, easy, safe, big. Easy. This makes it easy. These offers aren't replies to cold emails you sent. Okay, so it makes me feel like, right, so this isn't cold emailing. So this isn't something I already know. This isn't like something that I don't really like doing. They're not responses from job boards where you spent hours searching and applying. Same thing. Well, that's great. They're all from people you know. I've spoken about this already. People you've met through the power of networking. You've made impressions, built relationships, and to those people, your name has become synonymous with copywriter. Like, oh, right, great. So this is like a whole new way of getting clients. Like, I would maybe double down at this point, and I may say something along the lines of like networking is the most underrated way of getting clients. Like, for example, or for working copywriters, networking is the most underrated way of getting clients. So if you feel like you're not doing it to its full potential, this masterclass is for you. Like, I might just double down on something like that. Like really, really position it against the things you've just said. And say how no one is doing this properly. Would probably double down on that there. So I would maybe replace that with talking about how it's people who just know your reputation, or it's people who who already like you instead of they're people you know. And then I would do what I just said, which is kind of just double down on that power of networking. Just say it's like so underrated and no one does it properly. Or if you've already had a few clients, like you'll wonder why you haven't been doing this for ages. Etc., etc. And then when you come down here, you can even say but I just want to stress, like I said above, this isn't for new copywriters. In this 2-hour masterclass, cool. It's showing me the value. It's like, okay, 2 hours seems like there's a lot in there. Seems quite packed. How to build a steady, self-sustaining network, cool, so that you can stop the constant hunt for clients. Great. This is something I don't like, so it makes sense. He breaks down into simple, easy, common sense steps that anyone can do, even if you're this thing. And we know most copywriters are. So it's saying I can have this big benefit that I mentioned up here through this thing. By the way, don't worry if you're shy. It's fine. This is not a class for brand new copywriters. This is disqualification. So I know if I am not a new copywriter and I'm reading this, I'm like, good. Like, this is for me. This is for me. There you go. It's me. Don't need to say anything else. That's it. This is for me. Just a straight call out. I like it. Networking will get you referrals, but you have to have the skills first. And it comes across as like, oh, right, they're not trying to BS me with, oh, this is like get rich quick and all that kind of stuff. It gives me that trust in the business selling to me. Whew. Right. Get referred nonstop for copywriting jobs. Cool. Alex was once in your shoes. When he first started looking for work as a copywriter, he wrote long emails to copywriters begging for help. That's true. Is that my one to Glenn? Oh, no, that's to Tom. Okay, right. Tom. Oh, what was his name? Tom. Oh, I feel so bad. What was his name? He was really helpful as well. It was someone that Glenn interviewed anyway. Can't remember. Sorry, I don't think you'll be watching this, but Tom, you're watching this. I'm sorry I've forgotten your last name. Anyway, look at this use of proof as well, guys. Like, he went from that, he's been in your shoes. He went from what you were doing, it shows proof. But now Alex never has to search for clients again because he has a much more efficient method for finding work, and it looks like this. And look at all these desirable things I have. Look, I have alcohol and friends and parties and baked beans. Like, I have all this stuff that everyone really wants, showing me proof, and it's juxtaposed with this place where the reader is right now. Great, really good, really like this. Through the power of networking, Alex built a community. Through the power of networking, Alex built a community, and by building this community, he went from begging for help to being begged for help, and you can too. The only note here is this makes it sound like this is now a course on how to build a community, and I might go like, oh, then maybe this isn't what I was thinking. Just to know, I know what you're trying to say there, but careful with that. I would change this just to make sure no one's being confused. Like that line, just that. I would just cut that out. I would even just say through power networking, he went from begging for help to being begged for help, and you can too. I would just cut out just because it adds a little bit of confusion into the mix. Here are some of the things you'll learn. And look at this, guys. Like, this isn't that long. Like, this is not that long, this stuff. But already it's had more of an impact on me than, like, some of the other copy that I've read. So it doesn't have to be long to be good. What this is doing that none of the others do is it's using images. We're visual creatures, guys. Use images more. Here are some things you'll learn in this masterclass. The 11 things you'll need to build a solid network, and they are ridiculously simple, such as, and then you go out to list things. Be genuinely nice. Easy, right? You're probably already nice, but Alex shows you very clever ways to stand out beyond generic pleasantries. The right questions to ask new people. There are specific types of questions that work better than others. Learn which questions you should be asking. How to listen. You can't just ask for questions. You have to listen too. Alex explains why you can show genuine interest through listening. How to show, not tell. As a copywriter, you have to prove yourself. In other words, you can't just say go above and beyond. You have to do it. Alex gives clever ideas you'll probably never thought of. A sneaky, controversial way to build a connection with new people. This one's juicy, and it will give you a leg up on everyone else. Or alternatively, how to cyber stalk that being a creep. No, Alex is responsible if this one goes awry. Cyber stalking can help you find topics, bring up new people, but you have to be careful. Alex shows you how to casually bring up the dirt and go. All right. Here's an issue I'm going to take with what you've done here, Natalie. These bullets are not intriguing enough. Effectively, what you're doing is you are kind of taking chapters or slides of the presentation, and you're basically just kind of, I think these might even be like the titles of the slides. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you're kind of just saying how to do this, and like, this is what you should be doing. You're not really leaving any intrigue around what these steps are. You've said the 11 things. Remember, one of the most powerful things about bullets is the fact that you don't spell out what those things are or what you're actually going to get. You know, you talk around that, you build up the fascination, you build that intrigue, so they're like, God, I have to know what that thing is. I understand you may argue like, yeah, but I'm not telling you how you actually listen. I'm just saying, hey, that's what you're going to like learn about. Fine. However, this comes across as if like it just kills the magic a little bit. It's like you basically are just naming the 11 things, being nice, asking questions, knowing how to listen well, how to show, not tell. It's like, and if I'm reading this, I might go like, oh, I've already heard about these things before. Now, you and I know that in the masterclass, I actually go into details about this, and it's not, obviously that doesn't do it justice, just saying, oh, what are the right questions? I obviously go into detail and I talk about the specific ways you do it. However, you saying it like this kind of makes me as the reader feel like, oh, well, I already kind of know how to do that. Like, that's fine. It sounds a bit boring. How to show, not tell. Yeah, I've heard of that before. Like, I know how to listen. No one's going to teach me how to listen. That kind of thing, right? So that's the first thing that I would say, is that's the first bit of this page where I've been like, that doesn't quite hit. These bullets need to focus more on intrigue. It's fine to have a couple that are the titles of the pages. So for example, like the right questions to ask new people, that might not be a title of the page, I can't remember, but like that is fine. Even though that kind of gives away what I'm going to be talking about, that in itself makes me feel like, oh, well, what are these questions, right? But be genuinely nice, how to listen and how to show and not tell. Those are things that me as a reader, I feel like, well, I already know how to do those things, so it's not worth me buying a course for those. So instead, I would be building up the intrigue around this point, not just saying, oh, like how to show, not tell. It's fine to be on the nose about a couple, but when every single one seems like you're just reading out what the tips are, it makes me feel like, well, I now don't need to read the class, watch the masterclass. So be wary of that, because it's something that I think lets this down. I'm being brutally honest. I think if you go and read the bullets from, was it the first or the second piece of copy review today? I can't remember exactly which one it was. But the one where I was like, oh yeah, these good bullets, like these, clearly you're good at bullets. Go and have a look at those. Read Clayton Makepeace's Screaming Eagle letter, and have a go at just coming up with choose some points of the presentation and go like, right, how can I put this point into this kind of bullet formula? And have a think more about, okay, am I building up the fascination around that key point, rather than kind of saying what it is and then hoping that they'll be interested enough in like knowing how to do those things. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're watching, please let me know if that does. Bonus, the fundamentals of sales communication, 50 minutes with Sean and Alex. In this, I don't even remember this. In this bonus segment, Sean and Alex discuss the following: how proximity is key to building relationships, why no one makes friends in their 30s, how PUA tactics can relate to the psychology of copywriting, the importance of cultural capital and how it can help you talk to anyone, and so much more. Purchase. Building a solid network means that all you have to do is reach out to people you know, and those people refer you for copywriting jobs non-stop. If you're ready to spend your time writing copy and not constantly searching clients, this is the class you need. Stop calling email strangers and start focusing on your writing. Again, pretty solid close. Again, I think that I still think that idea of saying reach out to people you know, I don't think is quite right, because it just makes me feel like, well, I already know loads of people, so why do I need to network? I think you need to think about how to kind of reposition that slightly. So it's like it's people who know me almost. It's people who've like heard of me or like want to work with me already, like without me having to do any kind of pitching. Because obviously then in the class, you know, you don't need to do the job of the masterclass in this page. You know, let the masterclass do the justification of why they've bought it, and like, you know, the fact that, oh, well, you can now go away and use these tips. But yeah, but still solid end. Natalie, here's the thing for me with this is like, throughout all of this and all of this, I was like, I'm paying for this 100%. And I'm going to make you a deal. I will pay you $150 for this, and we will put it up because I think this is great, if you come back with better bullets using the notes that I have given you, having a look at other successful fascination bullets, and rethinking how you lay these out. You come back to me with better bullets, and, you know, maybe punch up the, you know, a couple of the other bits that I've spoken about. So the bit at the bottom and you know, this. 100% happy to pay you, because this was great, and like I would use the ideas from this that you've done anyway, because I think it's really good. But you need to come back with those bullets first. But I will commit to paying you if you do that. Again, just reach out to me. I'll make it happen. Boom. Well done, Ali. That was good copy. Cold email outreach. For the first line, do you recommend personalization first or get straight to business? What's in it for me personally? I've spoken about this before. My philosophy is always be relevant and be different. Being relevant can either be personalization or it can be relevant to what they want right now. I always find that personalization is the best way to, unless you know exactly what they want. You know, every business wants to make more money. Like, just saying, hey, I can make you more money, like that's not relevant. Like, of course, every business wants to make money, and everyone tells the businesses they can make more money. What I mean is, if you know exactly, if they really, really need like a new email system, and they hate it so much because it's really hard to track, and you approach them and you say, annoyed with how crap your email system is for tracking, great. Like, lead with that if you know that that's exactly what they want. If you don't know what they want and you're just assuming like, oh, they must want money, I'm going to talk about this, or oh, they probably want a better recruiter, I would always recommend going with personalization first. So only go with that, you know, like what's in it for me, if you know exactly what they want. Always go for personalization, because it breaks that barrier of like, oh, well, this person is real and they've referenced something that I have just written about on social media, or an appearance I've just made, so I want to read what they've got to say. How do I find products or services to use to spec piece? Two things you have to do. One, is there an area you're already interested in which case go and write about a random product there. Or two, listen to me right now. Let's go for go right for that. Go write for online dog training classes. Go and write for this course. Rewrite the sales page. All right. Boom. Done. Whoa. No way. I did not see that this was about dogs. Maybe that was subconsciously there. Maybe I read that. Oh, God, guys. I'm starting to flag a little bit here. All right, it's fine. This is a short one. Let's do this. Let's get through this. I'm going to give 100% to all of these. Subject line. Increased deliverability in customer... Oh, no, right, I see. Right, that's subject line. That's... Oh, these objectives? Right, I was like, that's a weird subject line. Primary is to increase deliverability and customer engagement with a cold list. Secondary, deliver the lead magnet first, customer commitment. One idea around the relatable pain point of a misbehaving dog. That's so... I must have read this and then... Like, that must have been what happened. I don't actually remember reading this, but I must have read misbehaving dog. That's weird. The human mind is weird. Around the relatable pain point of misbehaving dog, listing the common issues a reader may have with a dog and eventually offering a brain training lead magnet as the off-hand solution. So, is this a... How have they got on this list? A cold list. I would like to know how they signed up to this list in the first place, but I'll just assume it's they were interested in this kind of service a while ago. And 9RayJ Gaming says, screw it, I'll do dog training classes then. Boom. If you need to write your first bit of copy, just pick something and do it. And then you may decide, oh, I don't really like writing about this. I want to write about this thing instead. Fine, go and do that. But like, just start somewhere. Subject line, my dog terrorizes me. There is a good reason why I call him a terrorist. Again, that fucking got me off guard. Keep that in. That's great. Oh man, that is... Please, don't send an email with terrorist in it. That is... I'm not in a mood to laugh right now because like I'm so depleted from the day and I've just been talking basically at myself for 2 hours, but that caught me off guard. There's a good reason why I call him the terrorist. Okay, fuck me. All right, okay. My dog terrorized me. There's a good reason why I call him a terrorist. He's a 2-year-old border terrier that is funnier than most comedians. There's also a good reason why I call him my best friend. Oh, but today we're talking about his daily routine of hanging from my ankles. It's a common issue for intelligent dogs. 1 or 2 walks simply won't cut it when tiring them out. Which is great, because then you have a dog running around your house like the Tasmanian devil. Try getting work done when you have a furball sitting, whining behind you, looking for attention, wanting to play. I've been there. Seriously, you have more chance of concentrating with death metal music playing full blast in the background. It's not fair on you, and it's not fair on them. So for taking my ankle and my dog, I create this 5 minutes of brain training madness for intelligent pups, which we still do every day. Inside is a bunch of never seen before tricks and techniques to keep your furry friend as sharp as a knife and allow you to finally get some peace for work or relaxing. Click the link to receive the free pack within the next 31 seconds after requesting it. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Okay. So, a few things with this. I actually don't mind like this story. Like I wouldn't call him the terrorist. Like I wouldn't open with that. And there's some fluff that you can cut out, like you know, like these bits. I know that you're kind of trying to build that like, oh, you know, we love dogs, but like it doesn't need to be there. If we're being brutally honest. You could literally just open with, if you know with this list that this is something that they're going to have a problem with, you know, dogs hanging off their ankles, you can just open with like, my dog hangs from my ankles, or, you know, like will not leave me alone like all day, for example. Like that's going to get people going, oh God, I know, the same. And then you can just go like, until I found like a very simple, quick way to like make him into a completely different canine or whatever. open the loop, because they're like, oh, what is it? And you say, and then you can just go back into like, it's, if you've got an intelligent dog, yeah, it's more than, it's fine for them to have energy and stuff like that. But when they're running around the house like Tasmanian devil, you've barely got any chance of concentrating. Like, however, all I need to start with this 5-minute brain training. Like, you see how you can pretty much get the same message across, but in like, I probably did that in about 5 lines there, like 4 or 5 lines, instead of kind of like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 11, right? So you can kind of you can immediately half the length of this. I don't mind that kind of short story about it. I don't think, again, when they've got such a core problem, you don't need to do a long story about like how, like what your dog is like. They'll just go like, oh God, yeah, I get it. What's the solution? Please tell me. That brings back to the subject line, which I don't think is the strongest. Again, I think you can use the same logic I just applied, which is you can hit straight at the problem. You could even just say like, dog doesn't leave you alone, ? Right? Like, you can be as simple as that. Or like, how I finally got my dog to leave me alone during the day. Or like, something around that, or around the actual problem they have. My dog terrorized me. You could argue like it's slightly intriguing, but again, it's not actually telling me anything. It's not showing me that this email is going to be useful to me. And ultimately, like I was saying, it needs to be personal, relevant and useful go hand in hand. Then the other problem I have with this is that you then introduce what is meant to be the solution for a dog, like not, getting all up in your face and stuff all the time. I created this 5 minutes of brain training for intelligent pups, which is okay, fine. And then you talk about keeping your furry friend as sharp as a knife, and like that to me seems a bit like, well, I don't need to keep them intelligent. Like, I'm not worried about them losing their intelligence. It's that it's more around that I need that problem solved that you mentioned up there. So I would just double down on that. You don't need to bring in this kind of new idea. And if you can, you don't need to go really, this is kind of a lift. So you don't need to go really, really deep into this, but it would be nice to see like a tiny bit more proof around this thing that you're saying works. Even if you just said, like, it works so well because it taps into that unfulfilled need that they have, which no amount of walks can ever cure, right? At least you're not necessarily explaining everything, but you're kind of showing that there is justification for why this works. Or even just introducing a bit more proof, just saying like, it's taken the name of my dog or whatever from, rowdy and like absolutely mental to practically being like a lap dog that just sleeps, like maybe not lap dog, but practically being like a lazy dog that prefers the bed or whatever, like when I'm at home. Just adding a bit more proof, or just doubling down a bit more on the justification for this working, instead of just kind of saying, hey, this is a good thing, plus it keeps them intelligent. In the next 31 seconds, just sounds a bit weird to me. Just say like it'll be with you in the next 30 seconds. Click the link below to receive the free pack. Give it a try and let me know how it goes by replying to this email. If the primary thing is to increase deliverability and customer engagement with a cold list, then clicking is fine. But like, I would argue that if the second thing is just try and get them to reply, which is obviously what you're trying to do here, I wouldn't say give it a try and let me know how it goes. I would say, I would give them an immediate reason to reply, so they can still click, but also say like, plus like, tell me like what problems you have with your dog, and I'll see if I can recommend something, or I can put together something to help in your specific situation. Just saying, if this sounds like you, this is absolutely the thing. But if you have other problems, or if your dog's doing something specific, tell me about what they are, and I'll compile all the answers or whatever. So it just gives them a reason to reply quicker, instead of wait until they've tried it and then to reply. So yeah, there we go. I think this is moving towards something that's right. I think there's quite a bit of fluff in it that can be cut out though, and I think that the payoff needs to be slightly refined. I also think you should take out the line about terrorists, because that literally adds nothing but made me laugh a lot, and fix the subject line. A lot that can be fixed, but again, I think you're thinking about it in kind of the right way. okay, I may have got a doubt about the spec piece writing. If I learn about the course from their website, how do I get over the belief their website page is the best and anything that I write is bad? It's a good question. You can still look at a page, kind of like what I've just done. You know, I don't know anything about that product. Slightly different when it's a sales page, of course, but like you can still look at a piece of copy and you can still ask questions. That's how you should approach it, is ask questions about it. Like, where does it fall down? Say like, well, you haven't given me any proof of this. Even if in a spec piece, even if you have to make up proof, like that's fine. It's a spec piece. It doesn't matter. It's always better to write about something that you have a product for. So if you have something in your room or you've got a course downloaded and you can write something for that, then great, do it because you actually know what's inside it. But you can still write copy for things that you're not totally aware of. And even if you're just going off another sales page, just take the facts from that sales page and think, okay, how can I apply these facts in a more effective way? Like, how can I use them as proof better? Is there another idea that I think would link with the market more here? Let me do research into the kind of people who have had this course before, the testimonials they've left. Let me go on their Facebook page. Let me find comments they've had. Let me generally research the market about dog training online and see like what people want, and if if this page is already hitting on that idea, or actually if I think there's a much better one. There's a lot of ways you can go about it. So hopefully that helps. But you certainly can look at a page and just rewrite it, because there may be obvious things where you go like, oh, well, they're not even focusing on benefit, they're just focusing on the features up there. Or they aren't offering proof far enough off the page, so I don't know if this is right for me or not, or whatever. When you first started writing copy, did you use any formula? How did you build that persuasive sales text? I was told to write formulas when I started writing, and I found that they were dog shit. I found that they were annoying and they didn't always fit my situation, and they made it harder for me to write different things because I was always trying to go back to them, which is why I do not recommend that you use formulas as a way to write all your copy. I think there are some formulas which could be helpful for reminding you of things. We love Dick on this channel. DIC, which is disrupt, intrigue, click, which is not the difference between that and a formula like PAS, problem agitation solution, is that DIC is not prescriptive. It is simply descriptive. So it just describes what you should be doing. It doesn't tell you how to do that. So it simply says all you're trying to do is you're trying to disrupt someone's pattern. You're trying to get their attention. You're trying to build up intrigue in what you're saying and get them fascinated, and then you're asking them to click through. That's not prescriptive. It's not telling you exactly how you write those things. It's just saying like that's what you need to do. Problem, agitation, solution puts you in a box of like, oh, you need to mention the problem that they have, and then you need to agitate that problem, and then you need to show them the solution. And people get so like worked up in that. Like for example, saying that like, oh, you need to mention the problem. That could be like you're saying to someone, right, you need to talk about the problem. You need to bring direct attention to that problem straight away. If we compare that to DIC, disrupt is not, all it's telling to you is get their attention. That could be by mentioning the problem. That could be by being personal. That could be with something super intriguing. That could be with something they've never ever seen before, and like a big massive text. That could be with like a vague saying. That could be with their name. That could be with an image, whatever. Whereas problem, that's quite prescriptive. It's like, well, you have to mention the problem. So when you're writing a piece of copy that has slightly different context or is selling a different kind of product, all of a sudden, it might not be best to mention the problem like right away. But because you're stuck in using a formula of PAS, which is just an example, there's loads of them, I'm not going to write as effective, like copy that's massively effective because I'm focusing on mentioning the problem first, when maybe it might be better not even to talk about the problem yet, or to talk about it in a slightly different way, or to bring up like the end result that I know they really want to have. Hopefully that makes sense. Got it, definitely helpful. Glad to hear that. Now this is a very long one. Here's what I'm going to do for this one. I am going to give this the same attention that a reader would give it to show you whether or not this is good. I think this is just a web page, right? And this is the headline. This isn't like explaining, is it? Masterclass, the secrets to writing unique and persuasive CVs and cover letters. Okay. What do I think of that as a headline? If I know I want to write unique and persuasive CVs and cover letters, it certainly does what it says on the tin. That's about it. It's telling me what I want. I'm just going to assume I'm someone who wants to know how to write a good CV. It's certainly not a terrible headline. The secrets to writing unique and persuasive CVs and cover letters. Cool. Learn how to craft CVs and cover letters that impress recruiters and increase your chances of progressing to the next stage of recruitment. Fine. Get 75% off right now. Okay, well, I don't even know if I want it yet. So, like, okay, it's nice that there's a discount, but just £30 only. It's a weird way of saying that. Just £30 or £30 only. Just £30 only is a bit, it's doubling up. Join the masterclass today. Does this actually go anywhere right now? Oh, it is just a Starfleet. Okay, cool. Is this an actual, let me get the context for this one. An offer I'm running. Audience is university students and recent grads who are looking for jobs. Their pain is the generic CV and cover letter advice they are being given by university careers departments, which is not helping them land jobs. Masterclass shows how to do research on companies and themselves to uncover their own skill sets before applying to their research. Okay, right. Well, first thing, you've told me two things there. Was that John? Sorry? Yeah, so John, you told me two things. That this is for university students and it's for ones who are annoyed at the generic advice they get from lecturers at university. Okay. Is there, with that information, knowing information, is there more you could be doing with this headline? The answer is yes. I would call out the fact this is for university students and that and the things that lecturers are telling them are wrong. Imagine instead of just saying, hey, it's a secret to writing good CVs, you said something like don't listen to the lecturers, right? That's attention grabbing, it's impactful, it's controversial, regardless of what it's about. If I'm a university student and someone says, don't listen to the lecturers, I'm like, or the pressers or whatever, I'm then like, ooh, what? And then if it follows up with a CV, which is obviously the thing I'm interested in, I like it. Don't listen to the lecturers. Discover the CV and cover letter techniques that actually land you jobs, and then like parentheses or something like that, and avoid what everyone else is doing or what 99% of people are already doing, right? That is immediately more relevant to me. And it calls me out like who I am. It shows that I'm a university student. It sounds more exciting and intriguing, and it's specific. And also, it is going beyond just saying this is a masterclass where you're going to learn about CVs. It is pointing out that the other stuff they've already been learning about is wrong, and that they can only get that. They can only get this information here. Like if you go anywhere else, you're going to get that bullshit advice. Come here and get something that is unique. So that is what I would suggest for that headline complex. As for the pricing, I honestly think if you changed the headline complex and then you had information about the pricing there, I'd be okay with you keeping the pricing there, because most likely thing is people are going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to scroll down a bit and see if it is interesting. And then I'll come back up and buy. But, and it's fairly cheap, like 30. I know it's discounted. But chances are, if people are quite interested in getting jobs and they already know they want to do this, then having the price that far up is fine, because it's only really they know what they're going to get. It's a masterclass about CVs. It's not like an investment opportunity. So having the price immediately is fine. I'd maybe test two versions. One having the price immediately up top, another where it's right at the bottom and they have to scroll all the way down to find it. I would just test that. My gut would tell me that the price at the top would win. Tears ran down my eyes as I let out a deep sigh of surrender. I wanted to give up. While I walked into my lecture, I was on the phone to my brother telling him that it had happened again, and I didn't want to try again. I was done, for real this time. I had lost count of how many job applications I'd been rejected from. I stopped counting at around 20 rejections. It had become too painful to keep track of the cause of my despair. This was one of the worst days of my final year of university, and in hindsight, I can now see how it was also one of the best days of my life, because while I didn't know it then, this day would set me on the path to get good at writing unique and persuasive CVs and cover letters. You see, not only had I contemplated giving up on that fateful day, but this during a very critical time in my life, because it was during the peak application season when most companies open applications for graduate schemes, internships, placements, and entry-level roles. What's more, I was struggling on. All right, now, I'm not saying that copy was bad. All I'm saying is that having read what this goes on to be, I would give more information. Now, this is kind of done in the style of a sales letter. I don't think this is the right way to sell this product. I think having a solid headline complex like the one I just described, and then here giving some evidence about what's going to be in the masterclass and kind of doubling down on that message more of like, contradicting all the other advices out there and showing this is the only place going to get this. I'm not going to bullshit you. Showing me the proof of like, yeah, I've already done this. This has already got loads of jobs. Everyone who does this gets a job or whatever. I would want to show proof up here because it's quite a simple concept to understand. Like, you've already told me what this is up here. So now prove to me that it can do the thing I've said and show me that buy button. That is kind of as much as needs to be here. I'm not saying you shouldn't have any more on the page. I'm just saying, like, I would want that there because it rounds off that headline complex quite nicely of showing the proof, showing that it's succeeded for others, and then giving me a bit of a breakdown of like, or not breakdown, but like just doubling down on the fact that this is different from all the other bullshit you're going to get from lecturers and other university resources. Going straight into this kind of like story lead, it almost like takes me back a bit because it's like, well, I already know what you're going to be telling me here. I want to know more about this stuff. I don't now want to read like a whole fucking story just to know what's going to be in this, because I can tell you the way that people would read this. They would read this bit, they would start reading this, they would know that it's about you not being able to get jobs, and they would scroll down to the next bit that sounds like it's going to give them information about this course. That is how people would read this. So give them it here. Give them that here. You don't need to necessarily break down exactly what will be in the masterclass, but show that at least that it's trustworthy, it's proven. Double down on the message, like I said. I probably would like then go on to break down. I don't think a story is really needed here, or certainly like I wouldn't have it be so spun out. I don't think this copy is bad. I think it flowed relatively well. I don't think this is the right kind of product to be doing a story lead for. I think it's a bit much. I think you can certainly have this, but I would have more of an impact up here around, right, this is the proof that it works. Then I would maybe have like, okay, well, who even, like, who am I to tell you all this? Bit of an introduction, and then maybe say like, this is why I'm doing it. Like this is the story. But even then, I don't think that having this is gonna have an impact on sales. I think if you took this out, and you just kept the other information, I don't think it would change the number of sales, if I'm being brutally honest. I think you say things in here like, you need to get really good at writing CVs and cover letters quickly, do job application smarter, gather some data, try different things. If you just kind of kept the bolded points in here, I think it would have the same impact. Purely because there doesn't need to be a load of a long story lead for this kind of product. You can talk about you and like how you built this and like why they should listen to you after like that. In fact, that's what I would do. I would show proof that it's worked. I would double down on the message. Then I would go into, okay, why should you even listen to me about this? Then I would say, well, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this and I've got these many jobs, and it all started because like I was sick of losing jobs, and I realized it's because I was doing the same thing every time the lecturer was telling me about. So instead I did this and this, and I started getting loads of jobs. Then I would move on to actually breaking down what's in the masterclass. That is how I would structure this page, because I think it's going to be more relevant to what people want to see. So yeah. I need to write CVs about, I need to stop all the job worries. I landed jobs from Northumberland University, Barclays, Bank of New York. Boom, like that. Dude, like put up here, following these tips, and you can have the logos, like following these tips, landed me jobs at Barclays, Bank of New York, University, what was it? University of Nottingham? If it was Nottingham, I know quite a few people went to Nottingham. Northumbria. Didn't know anyone who went to Northumbria. So yeah, like that's how I would do it. Like you are kind of, I just tell you from experience, like short masterclasses and things that are very obvious and have very obvious value propositions, you're kind of wasting time and space with this kind of long copy, you know, trying to mirror a sales letter style. You don't need to do it. You know, you can certainly use those storytelling techniques when you talk about yourself and like, oh, this is how I did it. It doesn't need to be like so much on a page, because most people are just going to scroll and try and look for the things that are in there. Boom, look, you've got a bunch of good proof in there. You've clearly thought about this in a good way. Thanks for feedback, had job opportunities and interviews. God bless. So helpful. Now adopted the so what technique before making any points. Boom. Like, and now I'm revealing this to everyone. Like, dude, I think you've thought about this in a good way. Like, I think there's a lot of solid stuff in here, and I think this could do well. I just think you need to rethink about. I think you've read a lot of sales letters and you've watched us break down sales letters, and you thought, right, I've got to do it like that. I would rethink that, restructure it the way I've spoken about. Keep that core idea of what you've got there, because I think you've got some good proof in there, and you've got, you know, you're thinking about it in the right way. Just rethink of the how you get this stuff across. I know it's going to hurt to like kill your baby and to like delete some of this, but like really ask yourself, is this needed to sell this? Or actually, are the people who are interested in this, do they really care about my story and why I like was upset that I wasn't getting jobs? Or do they actually just care about like, oh God, yeah, like I agree. Like, okay, why do you know how to do this? Oh, that makes sense. Well, is there proof for it? Yeah, there is. Okay, fantastic. That's what they're going to care about. Like, I appreciate the amount that you've done here. And again, like you put some bullets in here, which are great, right? But what I'm not even going to try and dissuade you from having long copy, right? Like that's not what I'm doing. You know, as you know, long copy outpulls short copy when it's needed. It's just you need to have more stuff higher up to satisfy what people are there for in the first instance. Because so many people are going to come on here and go like, oh, cool, and then just want to scroll and like, oh, yeah, okay, there's proof here, and okay, that's how we did it, and okay, this is the breakdown of what it goes into. Oh, fantastic, yeah, no, this is right for me. I'm going to buy this, right? But right now, there's not enough for me to grab onto to be like, oh, I've got to scroll. I don't know. That it just seems like bullshit to me. I'm not sure. I can't be bothered with it. That's how people make decisions. You've got to respect that. After that kind of top section you can even then go like, you know, this is my story. Like, this is why I came up with all this. And then you can even keep this fucking copy, you know, if you want to. But I don't think that this is this copy that's going to sell that. I think there are ideas in here that are going to sell it. And you've done a great job identifying proof and like linking it to like, okay, well, this is why I came up with it. And I was sick of this and stuff like that. And, you know, you're probably sick of it too. But show them the important stuff first that they're going to care about. Right? That's my main point to you. Put some bullets further up there, you know, throw them up there. Like, show them that this is what we're going to do, right? Like, this is what is in the masterclass. These are the fascinations. This is why you should be intrigued about it. And then you've got like, this is not for you. You've got not statements in there. You've got call outs in there. Like, dude, set this shit up. Get it up to the top. I would still say, like, you know, the structure I recommended first, that is what I would go with. I would go for, you know, doubling down on the message, big proof points, got me hired here, here, and here. And then like a breakdown of like what it is, bullets in there, then a bit more about you, like boom. I think you got it, right? And then look, again, like here, this kind of stuff. I honestly just think you have too much, and I know it's not fluff. Like I know it's decent, and it's okay. It's okay copy and it's good copy, but like it's not needed for this product. And I know that's hard to hear because you've worked so hard on it, but honestly, I think you could scrap it or push it all down, put the important stuff up that people are going to care about immediately and want to see straight away. Did you haven't got the 3 hours of research? But yeah, like, because you've clearly put a lot of time and effort into this. It's these kind of things that, like, when you're breaking down like the second module, great, have a bunch of copy, have all these bullets. That then makes it seem like a no-brainer. You just need to get across to people why, like, who this is for, and why it's better than anything else out there, why they've never seen anything like this before, and why it's trustworthy. Get all that done at the top. In fact, those 5 subconscious questions I talk about in my 5-hour video, make sure those are answered in the top part of that page, and this will do well. And you can even keep like the long kind of story stuff that you've got in there, and just say, hey, if you want to, know like why I'm doing this first place, like read below, and then it certainly can build a bit more trust and proof to you, and it shows that you actually care about all this. But, you know, throw all this stuff further up. You've clearly got a good copy head on your shoulders. You're clearly thinking about what people need to hear. I think you just now need to think about the context of this product. I'm just now repeating myself and saying the same thing. But well, you've got an offer stack at the bottom. That's literally just £1 every day for a month. Less than a cost of a good night out. Dude, this is like, there's good copy in here. This just suffers from what we would call, or it's in need of, functional edits, right? Restructure the page. Think about what people need to hear, need to see, need to read. Think about how people read. People are quick. People want stuff quickly. Think about what they're going to want to see, what they need to see to then kind of move on and think like, yeah, this is what I really want. And yeah, this is something that's new. Think about restructuring and rewording the headline complex like I suggested at the beginning. But you've clearly got, good ideas in here about money back guarantees and offer stacks and dimensionalizing the price, PS in there. You got objection FAQs in there. And I can already tell just by skimming, this is good copy, okay? Like, just restructure and pander a bit more to how people like to read, especially in the context of this kind of product. We're not selling to a 60-year-old man who's looking for a new part of his investment portfolio. We're not selling to someone who wants the next big, exciting breakthrough in tech, in sales letter world. We're writing to someone who quite simply is a graduate or is at university and they want to get a job, and they feel like they're being fucked over because they're not getting one. And you're just telling them it's the CVs that's the problem. It's the crap advice that lecturers are giving you. It's what 99% of people are doing that's screwing you over. Be in the 1%. This is the proof that it works. This is what it means. This is what it's done for me. This is why I made it. This is why I'm qualified for you to speak to you about it. Bye. Here's my story below. Like, here's what you get. Before that, here's what you get in the course. Here are bullets about to intrigue you about this kind of stuff. CTA, blah, blah, blah. Here's my story. If you want to know exactly why I did this and why I'm doing this for so low, do you want to know why this is on offer right now? Do you want to know why I'm not charging hundreds for this, even though it could land you a 50K job? Because of my story. I think you're on something here, John. Just kill your baby and restructure. Think functionally. I think there's a lot of good stuff in there. I recognize this, Cody. Cody, did you see my other stream a couple of weeks ago where I offered to pay you again? Because I don't think you've messaged me. If you're watching this now, Cody, or later, get in touch. I can't even remember what piece it was for now because it was long ago. But get in touch with me and we will figure it out. Let's have a quick look. Other people are saying stuff. If you were told, oh God, guys, I'm flagging. If you were to start writing copy, where would you start? Because you mentioned that you were told to write with formulas, but now that you're good, where would you start? I'm not good at writing copy. I would start. I mean, I'm a bit biased, I suppose. I would start with my 5-hour video. There's a reason I made that, because it was genuinely me trying to teach people, like, this is how I think you should think about copy, and this is how I think you should start learning about copy. I would certainly change bits of the 5-hour video now. Like, I made that more than a couple of years ago. No. More than 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? I can't remember. Like, there are certainly bits I would change, I would improve, but generally speaking, like 90% of it is still like as I would teach it now. So I would start there, and I would not think about prescriptive ways to do things. I wouldn't think about right or wrong. Yeah. I would think more on a higher level of, okay, well, is this going to grab attention? Is this talking? Is this joining the conversation they're already having in their own heads? Is this relevant to what they're thinking about? Does this, honestly, the thing I am probably most proud of coming up with is the 5 subconscious questions. I don't think there's been a single piece of copy I've ever written that hasn't, like, those haven't covered. Absolutely go and look at those in my 5-hour video. Also, I'm like 2.5 hours into a stream now, so I'm probably just talking absolute shit. I organize some stuff in my mind, tell me if I'm wrong. I should keep in mind stage of awareness, then where traffic's coming from, then market research, tell me the way I craft message. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right. How long it would be, etc. Are you asking about the copy again? Remember, it doesn't matter how long copy is. It's as long as it needs to be. It's 5 a.m. now. Hello. Hey, Prince Severe. Where are you? Where do you live? 5 a.m.? Is that like Japan? Where is that? Hello, hi. Hey, Mark. Hope you're doing well. Cody is here. Lol. No, I didn't see that. I remember we talked about the Silent Gold Rush. That was one I was already paid for. No, it was definitely you. It was definitely you. I'm not getting this wrong. It was definitely you. I'm 99% sure. Go back and watch the last one that I was in, the last live that I did, which I guess was that one. Will it allow me to watch you? Ooh, guys, this looks like a good game. I'm actually super fascinated by these game ads, guys. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. These really interest me. It's basically doing a mix of a few things. It's the whole point of it is, one, if you've noticed, like, it's often like either zombies and things that guys find cool, like machine guns and stuff like that, or there's always like an element of like a kind of attractive lady in it. And it's all about this concept of gamification, which is it's showing you something that is like not fully completed, or that doesn't do as well as it could, and you're like, it annoys you that it isn't quite doing it perfectly. Like, the way I think about it is that, the DVD logo, like when it doesn't quite hit the corner and you want it to, it's like, I need to stay until it hits the corner. It's kind of like this. It's like, oh god, I need to see that thing go perfectly because I know it could. So these always really fascinate me. And it's kind of there's always like a weird sexual like undertone, whatever the right tone is, where like, there's like a big green monster penis coming out of her vagina, which is like kind of weird, and like probably speaks to the weirdest fetishes that you would get on the internet. But there's always those kinds of things because it's like, it's that weird morbid curiosity. Like, you mix that with like gamification and it just kind of creates this vacuum of like, I wanna play that game. Really fascinates me, like, because these are everywhere. These ads are everywhere, so they must work. I've never worked on one, but I would love to like get an inside view on I'm not gonna just watch this. I'm gonna get to yours, Cody. I swear to God. This is the other thing that happens is the thing that it shows initially is like nothing like the actual game. I'm also really interested by VTubers and like how they're gonna, like, anything that is like new, like brand new and has never been marketed before. It was like OnlyFans was really interesting. Game ads are really interesting, like mobile game ads. VTubers are really interesting. Like anything that's new and that has potential to absolutely skyrocket or to spread a message in a new way is super, super interesting. Anyway. Oh, what an attractive fella. And Cody's already just found it, so I don't need to be on this. Whoa, Sakura date. Whoa, hang on, guys. Let's make a profile on that quickly. These are not my. Oh, it's because I'm on the Copy That channel. That's why. So these are not my recommendeds. Ah, what another attractive fella. Anyway. What am I doing? Gamification. Is it gamification? I've always assumed it's gamification. Oh, wow. I don't know how I missed that. Busy, I guess. Fan video. Cody, you don't need to apologize. Like, I can't even remember half the shit I say, so don't worry. So yeah, so go watch that. I'm pretty sure the way I left it on that is, hey, go and do these things and I'll pay you for this because I liked it. There's no cap. We'll pay you multiple times, by the way, guys, if you can just, wring us dry. Cody, if I like this one as well, and you rewrite the second one, that will have been like $450 we paid you. So well done. I'm pretty sure at this point, like someone could just come along and write like copy for every single one of the digital products. We pay $150. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And because I'm not good at maths, so 16 times 150, like that's, like that was a month's wages for me at one point. That's not to be scoffed at. Someone could just come along, write a landing page for each one and just get like a month's wages. Anyway, I didn't do that. So yeah, sorry, busy, missed that. Don't worry. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. By the way, the real game the ad is selling has nothing to do with the ad. Yeah, it's always the way. But that's kind of like the things. That's how many products that marketers have to sell like end up being nothing like what the promise is. It's the exact same thing. What's the best way to find and pitch email copywriting to personal trainers? That's a very specific question. Find personal trainers, subscribe to their lists, get their emails, review their emails, make audits of their emails, either videos or in messages, preferably videos. Show them why you love what they're doing and you think that you could make it even better. Are they open to working? Do a free test for them, or don't and put your foot down and say, no, I want to be paid, but I have this really good idea, and just pitch them by showing, hey, I think we can improve this, this, and this. Cool. That was the storytelling masterclass. This one's landing page masterclass. Okay, cool. So no, I know this is a different one, but I'll review this one as well. But yeah, but do check out that one, and I will pay you for it if you make the changes. Glad to see it so I can improve it. It was my first one I wrote. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said now at this point, but please do make those changes. Come back to us, and yeah. You were paid, right? I think you did say you were already paid for the other one. Yeah, the one I was already paid for. Okay, cool. So Sean's on it. All right, another water. Bit of water, guys. Bit of water. These streams are a great way to relax. Like, I genuinely love them, but they take up like my last remaining brain power of the evening. When the other guys do these, it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon for them, so they're still working on like daytime hours. Whenever I do these, I always start at like between 7 and 9 p.m. And I've already done like a whole day of work, and now it's 10 and I'm just like blasted. But I often find I do my best critiquing at this time because I have to. Please read this first. Hey guys, I really want to bring the copy to life in a wireframe for you. Made a few minor tweaks. Change the title to blank page breakthrough. Ooh, I like that. I can't even remember what title I came up with for it. I think I just trust the process. And that is a joke, actually. That is an inside joke between me and a few people as well. So that's funny. So yeah, no, blank page breakthrough I like a lot. Really like that. I'm stealing that. I'll pay you for that alone, regardless if this is good or not. Since that speaks to the problem many copywriters struggle with, that right there is $10. I'll pay you $10 for that. Added a matching high quality image. Started off the... You changed my image? Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, hang on. That's the... Oh, did I get rid of it? Also, I've just remembered the image that I like is for a different masterclass. I like the ecom one, which we already paid someone for, so we've changed the name and image. I forgot about that. Anyway, started off, it used to be a dragon and a knight. Anyway, started off the lead with VOC from your Discord channel. Cool. Generated accompanied image to match the title and theme masterclass. Tease the what is a landing page with a screenshot from the course. Create a mock-up teasing the copywriting process. Remove items from best room. Grab some screenshots from masterclass testing. I love that you break down, like, even before I read it, you just say, hey, I did this and I did this and I did this. It's like I don't even need to read it, so that's awesome. Will the inbox domination masterclass teach me how to set up email automation in sequences? I can't remember. That was a Sean one. I don't know. He talks through strategy for email automation. He doesn't take you through I don't think he takes you through step by step. Oh, this is how I do all the things with the buttons. But it definitely goes through email automation, and like kind of strategies around it. But definitely, you don't need a masterclass to teach you how to use the software. If you see what I mean, like just Google like how to use it. Yo, Alex, I hope I'm not disturbing you with the questions I'm asking. No, dude, I'm just here to like review copy and answer questions. You might be annoying people who want their copy reviewed because I mainly answer questions apparently, but hey, I don't care. But do you think when it comes to working in tech, is a diploma important if you only have experience in online businesses and coding? I mean, I work in tech and I don't have a diploma or a degree or anything, so I guess not. But I mean, I'm a marketer in tech. I'm not a dev in tech, but I work in the tech world and I don't have any of those. Yeah, that was my last one. Cool. Image is different. Awesome. I love that you sign it as well. So cool. And you even got the copy on there to be actual words. Blank page breakthrough, unveiling the art of high converting landing pages. If you have thought everything makes sense until it's actually time to write copy, this is for you. Everything makes sense until it's time to actually write copy. This is for you. Now, I like what you're trying to say there. This might just be a personal thing. I don't know if that gets it across in the most succinct way. I definitely agree with what you're doing. That, you're effectively saying like, hey, all the theory makes sense, but when you actually sit down, like, what do I actually type? I think maybe a more striking way to get at that point. I think that might just be just a little bit too abstract potentially. Like, what is everything? Just that sounds like I'm being quite like I'm splitting hairs here, but I just mean like when I read that, my initial thought is like, what is everything there? Are we talking about the theory? Are we talking about like the copy, the writing side of it? Are we talking about like the research, as in like that's what makes sense because I've done all the research? I think going at it in a way of instead just saying like how do I start writing the words? Like, if you've ever sat down and thought, how do I actually start writing the copy, and just like putting writing in like caps, I think that just gets across the exact same thing, but in a clearer way. So first thing, but I still like what you're going for there. This is for you. Again, like you start with the call out. You know that we like that. So well done. Join Alex Myatt. Can't even say my last name. Join Alex Myatt, a seasoned copywriter who has written hundreds of successful landing pages, and discover his simple to follow process for churning out great copy that converts. Plus, he'll show you how to go from blank page panic to laying down your first words in minutes. Imagine being able to strategically layer in what your readers need to hear with certainty, say what matters in the order of importance, confidently create compelling landing pages that keep your readers glued to the page, quickly overcome writer's block, and deliver quality work that impress your clients. If you spent countless hours studying the theory of copywriting and you still feel uncertain, then seeing these practical copywriting strategies applied in this masterclass might be the last confidence booster you'll need for things to finally click. Really good. Really like this. I'm definitely going to not paying you again, Cody. You're just going to have to accept it. You're a good copywriter. You're just going to have to accept that. So I think there are little things that can be punched up. I think that I would definitely reference, even at this stage, I would reference the fact that you actually watch me write copy. Because I do think that is one of the big selling points of this masterclass is I actually sit down and I write copy for an hour. So I would definitely mention that within this first section. So I think maybe I would even put it, I'd even maybe just replace it here. Plus he will write copy for a full hour so you can watch every single step of his process. Is that something that I get so many people just say to me oh God, I love that you actually took us through that. Got it. This was literally what someone said in the Discord. What were you referring to? I moved on too quickly. Sorry. Please say what you're referring to there. But I'm sure I agree with you. Sorry if this asked too many questions. Should I start pitching to personal trainers or e-commerce digital writers? Dude, no one can say that instead of you. You can make a lot of money in both if that's what you care about. You should have to pick one. I like the which one is the landing page? I like that. You know what? I would now I know this is hard and I don't even think we'd be able to do this in Squarespace. I guess we could if we added it as an image on its own. I would do which one is the landing page, and then even up here I would do in parentheses, in brackets, just say find out at 31 minutes and it's not that far in, find out at 3 minutes and 7 seconds in the masterclass. So just not, you're almost doing a bullet up here in an image. God, man. EPS. I don't want to talk about online prescriptions or EPS right now. Just seeing that gives me PTSD. Uncover the 8-step process Alex uses to craft high converting landing pages. The step-by-step method taught me how to write winning landing pages. You know what? I would blur that more because I can read that. And if I can read that, I'll feel I already know those things. So blur it more. But I like the idea of this. With this process, having a blank page for longer than a few minutes, hang on, it's okay. They said everything always makes sense until it's time to write copy. All right, okay. Yeah, so I would change that. Do I need a website or Instagram, or can I just copy it to the Gmail email? You can hold outreach to the Gmail email. Dude, I don't know if you've watched this, but if you go onto our YouTube channel, you know what? I'm just going to go on it now and show you. And you go to playlists. And you go to Copywriting 101. This right here is a whole playlist dedicated to new copywriters that answers all these questions. What is copywriting? English second language? How much money do copywriters make? What's the best niche? What should you do? How do you pitch? All that kind of stuff. And it just has loads of other videos that we think are useful. So go here and go there. Yeah. With this process, having a blank page for longer than a few minutes becomes nearly impossible, even if your topic is challenging, unless you decide to ignore what you learn here. I would cut that, not needed. But if you choose to put these teachings into practice, you'll find your landing page swiftly coming to life. Your beginner's hesitation and uncertainty will vanish because having a process helps your brain make the unfamiliar familiar. And once you've mastered the structure, you can apply it repeatedly, making your writing process more fluid and instinctive. Here's a glimpse of what you can expect inside. Discover the obvious mystery of landing page at 239 so you can create impactful landing pages from click to conversion. Warning, the best way to handle client expectations might not be what you expect. Overlooking this can have costly long-term consequences. This bait and switch is a reader's frustration and copywriter's blunder. Skip this and risk everything. I think these are solid bullets so far. Tiny little bits where I maybe just swap words around and things, but nothing worth mentioning. Expert copywriter Sean reveals his best landing page tips, plus he demystifies the lead and how much you should go into it. The answer might surprise you. The copywriting process that removes Alex imposter and how you can adopt it. Oh, whoops, move that. Revealed the 3-point drafting structure. It's a method so effective that once you grasp it, your specific approach becomes secondary. Dive into the details for us. How Alex finds the main problem is reader. Think you need a lot of research. Think again. Find out how you can use Rioa. Detect the 5 stealth questions your reader isn't even aware they're asking. These are all good. These are all decent bullets. They're all very interesting. I think you've cracked the bullet writing process. Without a proven system, those blank pages and project complexities keep anxiety and self-doubt high. Perhaps you're missing out on work because you feel like an imposter, or not knowing what to say is one of your main source of frustration. But what if you could step off this mental tightrope and stand on solid ground? This masterclass is unique because a lot of copywriting courses tell but do not show how experts think through the writing process in real time. That's like having a math teacher tell you how to do math without showing you. I think that's a weak analogy, if I'm being honest. That basically is just saying the same thing but replacing copy with math. I would try and think of something more impactful for that, or just cut it. I would also, again, just up here, I would you might actually say in here, I didn't read all of these, but I would definitely give reference to the fact that, you know, it's an over the shoulder thing and you can actually watch it. Would definitely add that. Look how this masterclass became a real-time writing aid in a pinch. Super helpful, my dude. I'm working through my first paid landing page gig right now. I have a video saying it was all right. Thanks for saving my ass. Nice testimonial. And see how others believe it's a natural next step from our free file. Great video, really impressive. Your principles, the official, unofficial sequel to that. Great job, Alex. You no longer have to feel confused or unsure about how to write like a professional copywriter. Now you can witness the entire process of crafting landing page to convert, plus understand the strategic thinking behind every step, all packaged up inside this 2.5 hour masterclass. Okay. I think the only thing that I would add, I think that you get the main message spot on. Apart from the things that I've said, you know, change or cut or punch up. I think you get the main message spot on. I think the only other thing I would add is it would be great to see some proof. I don't think I talk about it in the masterclass necessarily, but you can find it from other sources I've put, particularly in my 5-hour video. I think I would just say, like, you know, it's these kind of techniques, or it's this kind of process that allows Alex to make pages go from converting at this rate to converting at this rate. Just because it adds in that extra bit of proof that not only is this going to take away blank page syndrome, also it's going to up the conversion of any single page that I touch, which is something that you talk about up here. You don't really go on to prove that. You know, you say why I'm an expert and stuff. Show when this is actually coming clutch for me, and I believe there's proof of that in the 5-hour video. I think I talk about is it the Nibbler's homepage? I think I talk about where it was like went from 1% to 10% conversion. There you go. That's just something I would maybe just slip in there just to say, look, and to prove this actually changes not just like the ease of writing them, but also the results they get. Like, here's just here are a couple of results, or here's something that's possible, you know, from Alex's own repertoire or whatever. Cody, again, like, this isn't even going to be one where I'm saying you have to go and do something else first. This is one that we're going to pay you for, because this is good copy. So well done, dude. Seriously, amazing work. You are the, what's the word? Hostess with the mostest? Girl with the pearl? You're good, right? You're good. So well done. Please do go and punch those things up, though. Would appreciate if you can. So again, just watch this segment back, punch those things up, send it to us. Once you've sent us that, like, well, I mean, we can pay you now, obviously, but if you can I will write a message in the Sean and our little message thing chat that we're already in, just to tell him to pay you money again. But please go and do those, and then send it to us when it's done, ideally before the end of the year, so we can get it up. Nice. All right, well done. Congratulations. Where else nicely done, Cody. Yep, agree. Okay, thanks. By the way, do you know if clients are willing to hire a 15-year-old if he can deliver results? Almost certainly not, I'm afraid. I hate to burst your bubble, but most businesses will not hire a 15-year-old. And it's also difficult to get paid as a 15-year-old. Just being brutally honest. So, still worth learning at this point, because you learn a skill that you can then do in a couple of years' time when you can get paid and businesses trust you more. There might be some businesses who are willing to pay a 15-year-old. I don't know any, but there may well be some, maybe local businesses as well. That's where I started. Remember, one last thing I've been thinking about before I sleep. Does research have any importance when writing email copy besides sequence planning? Research is just important for writing copy, like any copy, because research is what informs how you write and what you write and who you're writing to. So yes, absolutely, it is important for knowing what you're going to write. Thank you very much for the stream, Alex. We appreciate you. I appreciate you, 9RayJ Gaming. Thank you very much for being here. I mean, I've got one more piece to do first, but okay, thank you. I don't know why I read it like that. Thank you, Cody. Is this going to be posted? Yes, it is. If you go to, and I might as well just go back on it because I've got it up already. You can see all of our live streams. If you go to the Copy That YouTube channel page and then go to live, this has all of our live streams that we've done on YouTube on it. Nearly a year since we, oh yeah, of course, because it was, I feel like it was January where we started doing these. Yeah, must have been. Yeah, maths. Thank you. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. You are always a joy to be with in the stream and to read copy of. So thank you. Will do. I have family coming down for the next week, but I'll do my best to get it to you before the first of the year. Screw your family. The family are nothing compared to copy, and copy that. Prioritize us. I hope you have a nice Christmas. Please give my love to your family. Well, don't do that because that's weird. They don't know who I am. Make them watch the 5-hour video, then give my love to your family. It will be even more special. Guess waiting 3 minutes in stream in case of answer was worth it. Thanks, Alex. No, that's quite all right. Thank you for asking questions. And I can see that the rate of viewers is plummeting as we enter our 3rd hour. But I will review this quickly. Oh dear Lord, I'll review this quickly and then we'll be gone. I might answer any more questions. Yeah, I always do this in the stream. If anyone does have any more questions, just like start putting them now, and I will get to them when I finish reviewing this, and then I'll quick fire review all of them, like answer them all, and then I'll leave. And guys, once I get through this, I got through all the copy that was posted. I know I said to someone, hey, if you posted it now, I would try and get to it. I don't think that's going to happen because I am absolutely fucked right now. So I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know. I feel too bad. We'll see. I need to not be... Anyway, this is a value soft sell email for a client who runs a high-ticket dropshipping mentorship program. The reader is newcomers to high-ticket dropshipping. It's the 4th email in a welcome sequence. This is the 4th email in a welcome sequence. Okay. At this point, it should already consumed the lead magnet and all the free resources I've been plugging in to start getting consistent sales. The idea is to start getting consistent sales high ticket. It doesn't matter if you found a product that is in demand. You won't see any results unless you carry specific high-end brands that have the most built-in demand. Brands that everyone in your niche is actively searching and buying from. The offer is to learn the TO framework from the mentorship program that allows you to find the best brands and build mock sites. And the action is to click the link for free consultation. Go to more detail. Okay, so email number 4. Subject line: don't make this beginner mistake. High ticket dropshipping gone wrong. Does the type of brand you sell even matter? Preview header: read this and get another bonus. Okay. Subject lines are kind of basic. Obviously, if this is the 4th email and they've already read all the ones up till now, they're probably going to open it anyway because they know it's part of a sequence, and they know that you're promising something else to them. That I imagine the 3rd email has teased this one. So the subject line is less important, but still pretty important. So let me read the content and then we can talk about the email. The subject line. Hey everyone, I hope you are enjoying all the free value you've been getting these past couple of days. Immediately, why are you saying everyone in an email? An email is to me. You don't need to say, hey, everyone. It's an email. Just say, hey, hope you've been enjoying it. Just a quick note. Hope you are enjoying all the free value you've been getting these past couple of days. At this point, you know high-ticket dropshipping is the way to go since you are selling products people are already looking for. And not just any products, expensive premium products. Now you may have already jotted down some ideas for products to sell and even found some suppliers to reach out to, but here's where beginners go wrong. Okay. Interesting. I think you can cut this down slightly. I think you don't need these bits. They already like know this. You can reiterate it, but like to kind of show like, oh, you know, you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing. I don't think they're needed. I think you can basically start like, you can probably cut this section into like 3 lines. You can just say, hey guys, or like not guys, like, hey, glad you've enjoyed the free value so far. Like, because you can assume that if they're reading this, they have enjoyed it. So you can just assume that. Glad you've enjoyed the free value so far. Hey, you may already be looking at products that you can sell, you know, expensive products you can sell to make loads of money since you know this is the way to go or whatever. Then I would just go, but this is where beginners go wrong. So pay very close attention. within like 2 lines, 3 lines, I've already grabbed attention and got them going like, oh man, okay, well, I better not make any mistakes. So again, just always ask about what you can cut. Just like you right now, I was once in the early stages of my high-ticket dropshipping journey. I had made my mock store and started outreaching. It wasn't too long until I was able to get some suppliers to agree to let me sell their products. And man, I was so excited to finally start running Google Ads and getting things running. Okay, so this has now gone into effectively a story, and it's kind of trying to start at the point of highest tension. I would, not quite the point of highest tension, like you're kind of starting where they are and saying, hey, I've been there. I would, just to make this a bit more impactful, the story, I would just say like, here's where beginners go wrong, and then say like, this is what happened to me. Like, I couldn't believe I just wasted X thousands of dollars on this. I thought my life was over. Let me show you how I got here. And then it goes like this. Like, I was in a position just like you. You see how that's kind of just lacing the story in a bit more of a innately intriguing way. So I'm already like, okay, I know this is worth me reading. It's impactful immediately because I've like I don't want to be losing thousands of dollars, and you're holding my hand because you're going to show me what I can do to avoid that. So I don't now mind reading from the start to build that trust and make us feel like we're even closer. So I would do that. I would just kind of effectively open the loop a bit earlier on exactly where you were going with this story. Whew. Man, I was so psyched to run Google Ads and get things running. But unfortunately, when I launched my store, but sales weren't coming in. Little bits of writing. There's a few line. I'm not going to waste loads of time doing line edits here, but like this is a perfect example of line edit. Unfortunately, when I launched my store, don't need to say unfortunately, one, because it's doubling up. Like, we know this is bad over here. But when I launched my store, sales weren't coming in. That can be made a lot more evocative. So just say like, even this line, you know, man, like I was so excited when I launched my first Google Ads campaign. But then something happened. I think, or rather something didn't happen. Sales weren't coming in, or I made 0 sales, right? It just paints, like we were talking about earlier, it lingers on the main point of it. So I get a bit more buried in, oh God, like that's awful. I don't want that to happen to me. Shows the weight and the importance of that. These are just storytelling techniques. And, you know, like I'm not a master of storytelling. I'll hold my hands up immediately. You know, go and like watch Sean's masterclass storytelling, go and listen to Daniel Throssell. Like those guys are fantastic storytellers. But, you know, just some quick fire tips, like techniques in storytelling often are respect the gravity of the moment, and you are guiding the reader through the narrative, so you can show them what is the important thing and you can highlight things. Just be careful of that when you're kind of just saying sentences like they're casual. You know, if it's meant to be a point of high tension, or like, oh crap, or like, oh man, I really want to avoid that, make it a big deal. More entertaining to read. Visitors will browse my store, look at one or a few products, then leave and never come back. I just wanted to get out of the vicious cycle of doing the same thing every single day and expecting things to change. So you know what I did? I finally got the courage to ask that Instagram coach to be my current mentor. I don't know what Instagram coach that is. I'm going to assume this is one that was spoken about in the previous emails. And from day one, I quickly learned I was doing everything wrong. Your success high-ticket dropshipping has nothing to do with doing hours of mind-numbing research. Instead, it lies down to 2 simple factors. These facts allow me to productively turn visitors into buyers. Buyers allow me to reach 10K a day, 30K a day. So again, I think there's a bit of fluff here you can cut out. There's certain lines. And again, to do that, I would just go through each line and ask, is this really needed? Like, so what? Like, do I need this line here or do I not? The things we've already spoken about earlier on in the video. But I actually like the cadence that you're building up here. You know, you are saying like, you keep building this up, you keep opening these little loops of saying, but I was doing everything wrong. Like, it has nothing to do with this. Like, it comes down to just 2 things. And that has allowed me. So you're opening a few loops. You're saying, I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing wrong. You're showing you shouldn't listen to the things you've been told to do. Like, don't start doing this, because don't worry. This is also implying that it's easier than you think, because you haven't got to spend all this time doing all this research. And then you start to move into, there's just 2 things you need to know. Or what are the 2 things? And you're opening the loop again, because like, you don't say what the 2 things are immediately. You say like, and this has allowed me to reach 10K, 30K a day. So in the mind of your reader, they're building up the idea of what these things are going to be, and they're hyping it up in their own head. So it means when you do reveal them, they're suddenly far more effective, because I now believe that they are these magical things. And it makes me go, God, okay, right, I need to learn how to do that. I want to buy what you're giving me. So yeah, I think there's a good rhythm to this. I just think there's some fluff cutting that needs to be done, and as we just spoke about up here, I think there's some kind of key beginning messaging that needs to change a bit. I meant to call these things trust optimization, or TO for short. Choosing trusted brands to work with, building a trusted site. Doesn't matter if you have the perfect product in mind. If you don't know how to find high-end brands the majority of customers are buying from, you'll see no success. Cool. And in order to get suppliers of these brands who work with you, you need to build a mock style they can trust. Again, this is something here. This point is kind of the crux of your argument here. This is effectively what you've been building up to, is saying that it's this high-end brand credibility that you need. That is the main point of your argument. So make that a bigger deal than it actually is. Make me feel like it was so worth opening this email because now I've unlocked this new secret that I didn't have before. Then you can go on to expand on that and talk about where you go to learn that. Because you immediately then move on to going, oh, so you need to do this, make this store they can trust. And like my store just wasn't like that. And it's like, well, you don't need to go on to all of this stuff right now, right? In fact, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. You're dealing with sophisticated buyers. They're willing to spend this much. Don't you want the highest quality? Therefore, you want a brand they can put their trust in. They want something to they buy from you with no question. I would argue that really this here you could almost cut. You know, some of it obviously you need to keep like the close, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But this idea of kind of then moving immediately onto the site and how you need to have like a great mock store and stuff like that. You don't need to, and talking about how they can't look like it's coming from AliExpress. I don't think you need to say all this because you've just built up like what the thing is. It's trust optimization. Like you need to know the right brands. I'm going to show you how to find those right brands, the ones they already trust. And then you can move on to like, I'm going to break down the TO for you. I'm going to get you on a consultation and take you through it step by step. So I think you're adding more than needs to be there. And again, it's a case of killing your babies and you don't want to do it, but you've got to get used to deleting stuff that just doesn't quite fit in this email. You don't need to layer this on with, oh, you don't want to like spend like this much on a refrigerator. I mean, you can mention that if that's kind of like an analogy of what you're saying up here, but you don't need to talk about the mock store and how that like gives more trust and stuff. That mock store thing is effectively like the next open loop. It's the thing that you're trying to get them to book or one of the things you're trying to get them to book a consultation for. So you don't have to spend all this email then explaining why that's important and what kind of thing you can do and making sure it doesn't look like this and it does look like this. No, just say like, you can even just say one of the key things is building like a mock store. I want to get, and then you can close by saying, I want to get you on a free consultation to show you exactly what you should be doing. You don't even need to mention the mock store. My point is, if you mention something and then just kind of keep explaining the way to do it and why it's important, it loses that kind of punch of what is effectively a lift. Because I want you to intrigue me so much that I click on and go like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get a consultation from you because I need to know this new TO thing. So I think the end you could probably wrap up quite quick. I think the broad headline of this email, if you like, is there's fluff that doesn't necessarily need to be there. But I think you've got a few good bits of like copy, copy knowledge in there, and you are naturally opening the loop. I think the subject line could use some work for sure. But again, if it's part of a sequence, likely it is they're going to want to open it anyway. And I think you just need to look at condensing and really asking yourself, do I need to say this line for this to make sense? Fleen. I'm not going to go on this right now. But yeah, I'm not going to get another rabbit hole. I need to go to bed. So yeah. Only sell brands that people put their trust in and build a trusted site to get suppliers. I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, I think you just, after that bit, after you've revealed this, I think you need to go just say like, and I can show you how to do that with these steps or whatever, right? I don't think you then need to open up another thing to explain and tell why it's the right way to go. That's my main point with this last piece of copy. There's a bug on the ceiling. All right. Hopefully you guys found this stream fun. I think there's only one question left, thank God. I did spend too long answering questions earlier. Do you know where I can find the archive of Screaming Eagle newsletters? I have only ever read the How to Write Bullets one, the Clayton Makepeace Screaming Eagle. I don't know where you'd find the archive of it. I usually just try to Google things and see if I can find them online, but I don't personally know, unfortunately. Cool. That's yeah. That's me done, I think. Hopefully there's no more questions. Hey Troy, hope you had a good stream. I just woke up. Hope you have a good day. Getting into Christmas. Hope you have a nice time. And I guess just to everyone, 12 people who are still watching this after 3 hours. God bless you. Have a very Merry Christmas. I don't think I will stream again before Christmas. Maybe I will. I don't think I will. I don't think I'm gonna have time. I've got a load of work I need to wrap up. Then I am dog sitting and looking after my mum. And then I am Christmas Eving with friends. And then I am Christmas Daying with family and friends. And then I come back after Christmas and I need to get loads of stuff done. It's over. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. And just in case I don't come back and stream again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll sign off with that in a moment. Playton, Ollie, sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. Playton, I'm one of the 11 people in here. Learned so much. Love you, Alex. Love you too. Thank you very much. I'm glad you feel like you learned a lot today. Just saying yesterday, I watched the interview with Sean. Can you show me ways for practicing copy? Money, Momentum, Magic. Please go to our 101 playlist and have a look. You can find here. If you go to the Copy That YouTube channel, go to playlists and go to Copywriting 101. We talk about all the things in here. Pretty much everything. Pretty sure we also talk about how to practice copy. We definitely do, yeah. Like go and watch all these videos. You have any questions? Like this hopefully sums a lot of it up. Kevin, love you, dude. Have a Merry Christmas. Okay, right, cool. That's that I think is me done for the evening. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. If you're watching this future, I hope the future is good and that we're not all, consumed by some kind of heat death ray. And I genuinely hope that everyone has an extremely Merry Christmas, very Happy New Year. I hope you get all the presents you want. I hope Father Christmas is nice to you. I hope that you get to kiss who you want at midnight. And I hope that 2024 brings you nothing but happiness and joy and all the things that you deserve. We will endeavor to bring you the highest quality, slightly shit posting-y copywriting content on YouTube for free, and the best, most cheap ratio-wise to quality of paid copywriting content that is out there in the world. That's what we're going to try and do. Look forward to 2024. I know it's going to take us absolutely months to get them all done, but we are going to have 4 very, very big videos coming out for free, which is basically our way of thanking everyone and really helping beginners, so no one ever has to buy a crap course ever again. If you haven't earned any money yet, they will basically just show you everything you need to know as a beginner from scratch. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to say goodbye. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Have a good one, everyone.